What's up, ladies and gentlemen? And welcome back to the podcast. Do you know where the hell have we been?
No idea, you tell me.
Well, our channel died. The channel we uploaded this to died.
Yeah, no.
So
That was like last year though, wasn't it?
It died a quick death.
Actually,
Isn't
no,
it
it's
still
not-
up?
Yeah, it's still there. It wasn't just me though, it was Marshall as well.
yeah, but
I am
Marshall
not
was
responsible for its
No, I
death.
know
I
you're not
tried to keep
responsible.
it
Marshall
alive.
was and still is just a junior co-host, so he's not he's not actually responsible.
Yeah, he's like 10, so he doesn't count.
Wait, what?
You're like 10, you don't count.
yeah,
I'm 10 years old.
yeah.
You are.
Skippy.
Makes sense.
Yeah, does actually.
Drugs and money and all that.
Popping pills.
Popping them
10-year-old.
Only got 80
Killing
million in my
bitches.
pocket.
Running guns like the founding fathers. Anyway,
Yeah. So where
So-
why have I know it's mostly my fault, but why haven't we been able to put a podcast on for what, 6 months? Longer?
I think it's been scheduling issues and also just like, I don't know, problems.
No one's done anything.
I've got 99 problems. But Marshall ain't
What?
one.
What?
Marshall's always one of the problems.
Yeah. Of
We're
course.
doing current and long-term liabilities in our business class, and I listed like one of my friends in an exam as a long-term liability.
And it was it what?
Oh, it was incorrect.
Oh. Who is it about?
I can't say on podcast.
Oh, you
Oh,
can?
okay.
Do they watch the podcast?
No, but one of them does. One of them
Do
will
they?
convey.
Do they think I'm hilarious?
Yes, actually.
Wow. Thanks. You know, biggest fan.
Not as funny as Fax though. Fox? Fax? Marshall, help me.
Facts.
Fax. Not as funny as Fax though.
Who the hell's that?
Were you on the
There's a
podcast?
guy on. He was on a podcast.
Was he? I can't remember. Well, he's banned from the podcast now because
Oh,
apparently he's funny.
Definitely banned from the podcast. Definitely.
What did he say?
Nothing. He was just awful guest.
Oh,
He made an awful pod. It was a funny podcast. It was just awful. Mar-
Yeah.
Marshall. Marshall was in the call. He just wasn't answering his phone.
wow. What not?
Well, yeah, that was my. I was in a land far away. So yeah. I think overall, we've just sort of put it off because it's like, the podcast isn't going on right. It was inactive, so we're like, let's start it when we want to, not when we,
Want-
whatever.
Want to? Yeah.
So
That's what we've been doing.
we have been I think we tried to record it about a month ago, but it fell apart. So now we're finally getting to it.
We are. Hopefully it's not
We are.
really awkward.
For this first episode, we won't have a guest because it's been a while. But next episode, we should have.
I personally think the podcast should just be me talking to myself.
Really? Isn't that just every Let's Play?
Yes, but there's gameplay in the background. It should just be talking to
So
myself
this
with a
one
black
will just
screen.
be pure insanity. You
Yes.
talking to. It won't just be a podcast.
It'll basically be
video
my-
of you talking to a
It'll be
wall.
basically
You'll be in a corner.
It'll basically be me, my Mein Kampf. It'll be my life views, my life, my world view.
And we must stop. Are you racist against any particular?
Oh, you know
Polish
me.
people.
What? No, not you, Dino. I did not ask Dino. What were you saying?
I said Polish people.
Polish people?
Yeah,
God
they
damn.
invaded our country. Like 1939.
Well,
No, I'm saying.
I was kidding, but I knew Dino would react the exact same way as he did.
No.
No, you don't. You voting for Nigel Farage, Dino?
For what?
Don't worry.
British people hate immigrants, like more than Americans hate immigrants, which is really hard to reach that level of.
Let's just say I don't have a job. I'm going to leave it there.
So you want to dig
Neither
ditches,
do I.
or is that
Oh,
the
we
job
could.
you were?
Oh,
looking
we could.
But that's the job they're taking. So what do you want?
A
I
job.
mean, you want a job?
Boys, this is our first topic. Dream job.
Psychiatrist.
Whipping people. Getting paid to whip people all fucking day. That'd be
I was
awesome.
Thinking.
Okay. What is your dream job that exists?
And people.
Being the COO of PayPy. No, this was winning.
Paddy, what's your dream job?
Probably podcasting. Like, genuinely, if I was on a decent podcast.
This is the start.
Getting paid to?
Getting paid properly. Getting paid at all.
Paddy, I think the best podcast we ever did was when we had FM Chris on.
I didn't think that was a good podcast.
It was awkward because, like, we would talk about football and he'd be like, no, like, all hell the football master, we can't disagree with you.
Exactly. It was like the closest... It's probably the most high-profile thing I've ever done. It's the closest I've actually been to a YouTube celebrity. And...
I already call him
What?
a celebrity.
Oh, he's the biggest person I've ever worked with.
I'll talk to. I played StarCraft with him before. That was fun.
Yeah.
Except we sucked, though.
He sucked.
No, we both sucked.
Ah, I see.
We should get a game developer to interview or have a podcast with.
Um,
An indie game developer.
Okay, my computer's fan just randomly turned on.
We could have Bethesda, the entire staff team on here in a conference call.
We could have Todd Howard and Pete Hines explain themselves for their actions.
Yes.
More Todd Howard, to be fair, because Pete Hines just, writes the checks.
I would just love to talk to Chris Avalone for an hour. Actually, just let him talk for an hour. Don't even ask him questions, but I'd love to interview Chris Avalone.
It'd be
think
awkward if you were just like, talk.
I don't think my computer's agreeing
Talk
with
on
me.
mute.
The fan keeps turning up.
That's why you need a fan controller.
I do.
You need drivers, proper drivers.
Your driver's outdated.
You need an NVIDIA graphics card.
I have a
No, Radeon.
AMD.
Well, not a Radeon.
Yeah,
Graphics card has
yeah.
nothing to do with the fans.
Yeah.
You need an Asus motherboard.
Except for
You
the
need-
graphics card's fans, Marshall.
You need a proper fan.
I do.
AMD's fans are usually louder than...
So, Paddy, what's your next little Let's Play you're going to do? Because I haven't checked your channel.
My
yet.
next Let's Play... Oh, God. That's a year
Well,
away.
that's secret.
No, it's really not. It's just...
It's just like the guy from his college.
What?
Just like the guy you're not allowed to talk about.
From my college?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Are you talking about the guy who, like, was in trouble with the police?
There's a guy in trouble with the police.
No. Okay.
Word.
Yeah. So my next Let's Play has been a really weird topic because like a year ago it was going to be Phoenix Wright.
And that's not.
No, it's not. Then it was going to be Deus Ex.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. And now
Why
I've
isn't it?
Because it still might be. It's probably the most likely one. But
The original Deus Ex, I take it.
no, Deus Ex 3.
In Revolution. What about the Fall?
I
Like,
think you should do a
know.
Fallout
The
3
Fall.
reboot.
The reboot of Fallout 3 is an option. It's just going to take so long though. I do it modded. And plus, I hate recording on that engine. Once I'm done with New Vegas, I don't want to record on that engine ever again. I hate recording on it. It doesn't work.
She'd never do Oblivion.
No, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, but Oblivion's a good game.
Oblivion's an amazing game.
Wait. New Vegas is on the Fallout 3 engine.
I know, I just said, like, over my time with recording on the Fallout New Vegas series, I've grown to hate recording on that engine. And once I'm done with New Vegas, I don't really want to go back to it.
I will say it's easier to record Skyrim than it is to record Fallout.
I mean, that engine, first of all, I haven't found a way to fix this, is capped at 60 frames per second. So that just first of all annoys me.
That's not a bad thing, though.
It annoys me. I
Are
like
you one of these frame rate
Oh,
nerds? Oh, the
He
frame
is
rate
a frame rate nerd.
the frame rate is locked at 60. That's not good at all. It has to be locked at 61.
I must
get
play
the
my
full
games.
amount.
Oh, it drops to 15. I'm such a whiner.
Oh, come on. 15 frames per second is not a playable frame rate.
15's
I've
amazing.
put up with it.
15's amazing.
No, I'm talking to Marshall. What did you just say?
I've put up with 15.
What, you've got a
before.
crossfire set up. You're surely not dropping the 15 on anything.
No, I'm not on this computer.
Okay.
Well, actually, it's funny you mentioned. Recently, I got Metro Last Light, which is one of those.
Yeah,
You know how
graphically
certain games
intensive.
are optimized for. Well, not necessarily optimized, but they're invested in by either AMD or Nvidia.
Yeah.
It was invested in by Nvidia.
Yeah,
which
that
doesn't necessarily.
usually means in the opening week or two the drivers will come out quicker, but after a couple of years it should.
Not only
should
that,
even out.
but it'll have certain things like 3D
Physics.
or certain features
Like
that are
physics.
only for NVIDIA.
Like PhysX.
PhysX, exactly. So, PhysX, that was the problem. I thought that NVIDIA sabotaged it for AMD. Because at first, it was, I was getting literally 5 frames per second. And I was like, this is impossible. And then I found out it was because I had PhysX enabled, and it was, like, confusing the hell out of my computer. Because it's like, this doesn't exist! What are you talking about?
I think you can do it on AMD. You need a driver for it, though. A specific PhysX driver.
See? Well, anyway, I turned it off and it was fixed. But it's funny you noticed that, because for a while I was playing it with 15 frames per second, and then it dropped down to 5, and I died.
PhysX is graphically intensive, man. And you've got a Crossfire setup, so you're optimized for it. The way most people would recommend doing PhysX is literally to have 2 graphics cards, and 1 graphics card is literally doing PhysX.
Well, like I said, I'm sure I could do it.
Yeah.
But it's not enabled for it at its current.
The best, like, game I've seen for PhysX is Borderlands 2. Because PhysX in Borderlands 2, literally you could see it on the flags. When you've got PhysX turned off, those flags look awful.
Speaking of Borderlands, have you heard about the Borderlands prequel?
The prequel sequel. The sequel
sequel.
The
sequel to the prequel. The prequel to the sequel.
Yeah.
Whoa. What? So it's in between Borderlands 1 and 2?
Yeah, but it's not really related to Borderlands 1 in any way.
It's set before Borderlands 1.
Yeah, it's focused on Handsome Jack, and it's in space.
It's on the moon.
Ooh.
It looks interesting.
Our moon, I think.
That's weird.
The Pandorian moon, the moon that had the satellite.
Okay, Pandorian moon. I was gonna say our moon doesn't exist in Borderlands.
Does it not?
I don't think.
Well, I haven't seen mention of
computer's
Earth.
fan. The fan on my computer keeps turning up, and it's so annoying.
It's because you've overclocked.
That's probably why.
And it's like, we can't handle the heat, we must turn up the fan speed.
Mine's overclocked all the time.
I only have my graphics card overclocked at the moment.
Then again, my computer's fans are kind of loud, as Putty has.
Mine are quite loud too, actually. Wait, Marshall, I need to ask you this question. Is your microphone on the same desk as your computer?
No.
Right, good. Because mine it was awful.
5.
I'm going to turn the fan speed up a little bit.
Alright, what were we talking? Oh yeah, Borderlands 2, the PhysX in that was pretty damn good, but when I turned PhysX up to high from nothing, it went from 120 frames per second to 30. So PhysX is extremely graphically intensive.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
though.
Ever since I got, going back to that mic topic, ever since I got my Yeti, my background noise has been almost non-existent.
See, I'm getting more background noise with the Yeti because it's a more sensitive microphone.
I think it has to do with like position for some reason. I don't know.
I've got mine in a better position now, and yeah, the background noise is reduced drastically. I'm still not sure whether I prefer the Snowball or the Yeti yet.
Really?
Yeah, the Yeti's picking up my keyboard more than the Snowball did too.
Well, you bought a Yeti, they're like 80
quid.
As
far as basic features, the
95,
Yeti is awesome.
95, bloody
I like having a mute button right on the front.
I do like having a mute button. I like having it has more stuff, you know. And I like the stereo.
I wish I could have moved away from a USB microphone. That's my biggest regret from buying this. I had to act quickly, and that's why I just went with one I knew would work. But I still think going forward, the best way to move up in sound quality is to move away from the USB.
I do want to get like a Snowball.
I could sell you one that only works half of the time for a very discounted price.
Nah, fuck that.
Anyway,
it'd be like a tenner, but...
So what has everyone been up to while we've been gone?
College.
Why have you been... Oh, college as well.
Ah!
Yeah.
Run the fuck away. Sorry, I'm playing League of Legends. Like, you know, a terrible person.
It's not okay.
Wait, how long have we been gone?
Ages.
A year?
It hasn't been that long. About 8 months.
So I passed my GCSEs.
I passed them like 4 years ago. What are you talking about?
What?
I said 3 years ago.
I only just took them. Well,
it will be 3 years ago this May. I finished my GCSEs.
it'll be 1 year ago, 2 weeks, that I would have started my last lot of GCSEs.
I started my GCSEs on the 16th of May and finished on the 16th of June. There you go for memory.
I'm starting my A-levels on the 14th of May.
My first exam was an English exam, and my last exam was an IT exam.
God,
Bang.
this is boring.
What's a GCSE?
Well, I finished my GCSEs. I joined college. I joined A level. What else?
My phone's gonna die.
I started a New Vegas LP. I think that started after we left.
And it's pretty impressive, guys.
Thanks. Appreciate that. You started a New Vegas LP.
I did, but that was before. That already existed. But the New Vegas LP has skyrocketed in quality, as well as all my videos. But and I say that not to be a douche. I say that because I know how bad they were. I'm not showing off. I'm shameful.
And that's why I waited 3 years to do mine. And it's still shit.
Wow, that's really self-critical. Why do you think it's shit?
I'm still not talking properly. I think that's one thing I noticed.
How does one not talk properly?
Pretentious basket. It's just the amount of ums I say. A lot of stuttering. A lot of
see, I've cut down on that quite a bit.
I know you have.
Whenever I... yeah, I know. I still say it, but I say it less, and generally, I've programmed myself to, instead of saying just to stop talking, which sounds weird when you think about it, but it sounds much better.
Yeah.
To have just no talking.
I know that I've learned the same thing, except at the start of YouTube, everyone's like, no, fill that gap. You cannot be silent during a video. It's not entertaining.
Yeah, it's completely false, actually.
It's different for Let's Plays than it is for
commentators. You can't
talk
all the time.
Oh, well, yeah, no. If you leave a 30, 40 second pause in there, it's gonna tank your video. But
of course,
if you have 10 seconds of pause, I'd say that's acceptable. If you need to think about something, or if something's going on, there's no reason for you to talk about nothing just because you have to fill in the silence.
Like if it's a cutscene, then you can't really, like...
Oh, of course.
No, well, of course there, but I just mean like if you have to think about something and if the definition of you talking is like just talking about nothing just because you feel like you have to, don't do it. That'll just make you look like an idiot.
You can't see me.
I just blab on about bollocks anyway.
That's what I do. Wait, do you have a channel?
No. I've considered it. For about a year now.
You started a Fallout 3 Let's Play.
You did.
I did.
Which I was really excited about.
I got to 10 episodes, actually. I was quite happy about that.
It's a big shout. It's a good episode. It's a good number of episodes.
Did you enjoy? That's the main thing.
I did when I think I saw episode 3.
I think you have to meditate on Let's Plays. I use that term because recently I've meditated.
I think the last podcast we did was called Drunken Russian Gaming.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Which is a hilarious reference.
It was with Destros, Fax, and Reese. We need to get Destros back on here. I promised him we'd get him back when we were more professional.
Like, when I saw that title, I almost cried because of how good of a reference that is.
Thank you.
But no, it's the type of reference that only Putty and I get. And maybe it's like 2 people.
Yeah.
That are buried in a hole somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, but...
Moving on.
Yeah, so... I've realized I've been thinking about my Let's Plays, and I'm not implementing this yet because I don't want to just randomly change Let's Play. Like, I'm not going to be implementing this in Fallout New Vegas. I don't want to have a huge change in the Let's Play.
Can I quickly ask a question? What happened to BF4 Safari? I haven't asked this yet, and I want to hear the answer.
Safari?
Along with...
He's backpedaling.
BF4 Safari, along with my reviews, they take so long to make, and I need a lot of free time. And
some of them are good though.
They are some of them.
Some of them.
That's cut deep.
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyway, I take pride in all of them. No.
Your parodies are not mostly good. I haven't seen one of them in a while either. Parodies.
Yeah, that's the thing. All these things require so much of my creative time.
What happened to the 3-prong attack? Dude, you're failing me.
The 3-pronged attack. I remember talking to you about that. Reviews, parodies, Let's Plays will conquer YouTube with the 3-pronged attack.
There's only got one of those prongs left and it's bent.
Oh, that's funny. No, and the thing is, since then, I've totally changed my thoughts on how to make a YouTube channel. But
well,
anyway,
it's easy.
as
You
far
press
as my
register, you have to have an email address, you have to have thought of a name beforehand. You enter it in. Now you have to make a Google Plus account.
That sucks.
I already have a Google Plus account, so yeah.
I have one made for me because of my YouTube account.
Yeah, I was forced to have them. But anyway, I've been thinking about it, and instead of, I'm not going to implement this yet, like I said, but eventually I'm going to start doing more role-play type Let's Plays, because I find myself personally enjoying those the most. There's something about someone, jumping into the feet of the character that employs me more, and I'm going to be picking Let's Plays that are better for that. Not just any Let's Play, but Let's Plays that are not necessarily meant for it, but Let's Plays that I can make into that.
Games, you mean, not Let's Plays. Games that are meant for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
still-
So I won't be doing any old Let's Play.
I still go back to the almighty Chugga Conroy when it comes to my Let's Play inspirations, and that to me is the way to make a Let's Play, and that's what I try to imitate.
Okay, I'll reference who I've generally picking up who my favorite role play Let's Player is. He's not popular. He's got.
That's mean. He's not popular.
He's not popular. Chugga Conroy is what I'm saying.
Of course, yeah.
He's not like Shosh Pick or however you pronounce that god awful name.
SSOHPKC. Hey, I will give him credit. He has an Earthbound reference in that name. PKC.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the attack names in one of the games. I think it's Mother 1. Anyway, yes, reference.
Anyway, so Damo, his name is Damo2896 or 2986.
Great branding there. Great branding.
I didn't say it was better than Shosh Pick. Well, anything's better than Shosh Pick.
I don't know. Once you get numbers in there, it starts to be a bit like, really, dude?
Shosh Pick has numbers in it.
No, it doesn't. It's SSOH.
Oh, it doesn't.
PKC.
But what he does with the capitalizations confuses the hell out of me.
Well, it's because I think it's his name, and the O is meant to be a lowercase o.
When do we get to the storytelling? I have plenty of stories to tell.
What about 40? Let's say 40 minutes in, you can have 20 minutes all to yourself.
Wow. Intriguing.
Wow. That's a lot.
Well,
So
you're not the most like loud and boisterous during like two-way conversations, so you can have 20 minutes all to yourself.
I can have 20 minutes all to myself.
Yeah. Every week.
So anyway, Damo2986. Check him out, guys, if you like. I don't know.
We'll link him in the description.
Yeah.
Along with Chugga Conroy.
And I recommend all of Chugga Conroy. I've seen him before. He's good. He's very good. And then I like Damo just because. Oh, by the way, be noted, his voice is pretty crazy. So get ready.
So is Chugga's, to be fair. So is Chugga's.
Like when I first heard Damo, he's not gonna listen to this, but
he might.
He's got about 15,000 subscribers.
Chugga Conroy is listening to this right now.
But when I first heard his voice, I imagined in my head the image of like a really fat white guy, like huge, like obese, and then when you see his picture, he's like this, thin, normal black guy, and I was like, what? But yeah.
You know who will be watching this podcast? Ellis Smith.
Yes, he's no.
What happened to him?
I don't know. I'm gonna try and find him and send him a message like, "We're back."
Ellis Smith will watch this podcast till the end. I'm on the Roundtable podcast, or Roundtable thing now, and it's got 45 subs.
Yeah, I was looking for it and I found it now.
Yeah.
But if you wanna, in my opinion, if you wanna see one of the best Let's Plays of all time, Chugga Conroy, Mother 3, it's how you do a Let's Play right.
This may sound controversial to Putty, but my favorite Let's Play of Damo's is his Skyrim Let's Play. And that is because, like I said, it's not about the game, it's about the way the player plays the game.
I think Skyrim Let's Plays are a hell of a lot better than playing the game.
That's true. And the way he plays the game is perfect. Like, he adds things that are missing. And I think the things, I realized this the other day when I was, thinking about it, because I've been playing it in my free time lately. I realized that the problem with Skyrim, and you've said this before, but I didn't really understand it until now. You've said it's an endless ocean that's only like a few inches deep. And it's true. There's so many characters. Like, I realized one of the cool things about it, there's almost every character in the game has a name. The only ones that don't are like Stormcloaks, guards, that sort of things, and enemies. But all of the NPCs, all of the characters inside towns all have names. They're not like in Fallout where it's like Fallout 3 citizen or New Vegas, Westside citizen. Everyone who is friendly and is not like a generic guard has a name, which I think is awesome. But the problem is you talk to them, they maybe have one dialogue choice, and when you're talking to them, they rarely give you more than two options. And I think really where Skyrim breaks down as a game is not in, obviously it has excellent combat, excellent gameplay, excellent engine, but it breaks down for me in the dialogue. I think the dialogue is a tremendous failure on their part. And, when you only get to pick one thing, and they don't give you a choice.
It's a shame too, because the voice acting is I think it's one of the best of Bethesda's ever done.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gotten better since Oblivion.
I think the voice acting in Skyrim is very good. I just think the writing is, even the writing I think is good. It's just
the writing is good. It's just they don't write
it's
enough.
It's not enough. Yeah.
They give you one option to say to something, or two options. In Fallout, they write so much for each character. There's only so many characters in each town.
I've noticed the DLCs in Fallout New Vegas. I think that's where, like, even with Honest Hearts and Dead Money, that's why I like the DLCs so much. Is because I think it's better in the DLCs. They've got so much more. With Honest Hearts, Stella and Ricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two. I was sat there for like half an hour talking to those two. They've got so much backstory, and Stella has references to Fallout 2. What else could you ask for?
Fallout 2 is amazing.
What?
Just saying, Fallout 2 is amazing.
Yes, Fallout 2 is amazing.
That's a 2.
I think, in Fallout, the characters have so much to say, and you always have 3 to 5 options.
Not always,
like, unless it's a really simple question.
Yeah, but most of the time it's like, please tell me more about Megatime.
Yes.
Please tell me more about New Vegas.
This is true. But
please tell me more about your shitty
have you
life.
ever? I was trying to record this for an LP episode.
I think that's how you start conversations, but I think once you're in the conversation, you have very intricate decisions.
You don't just go, please tell me more about your life.
Well,
to a real person.
But all of the you do if the life is interesting, and I don't really care how I get them to tell me it. To be honest with you.
Yeah, me neither. I think once you're in there and they're talking about them, and you get to really decide. And I realize karma by itself means nothing. Oh, no. But karma, and I mean in Fallout, but I think karma really comes into play in dialogue. You get to shape your character's karma by what he says, not by his actions.
One thing I think is the karma. I'm getting into our meat of our topic today, which I think is going to be once again Fallout 4. One future influence is I think karma should return in a way, but I hate a linear number-based karma or reputation system. Like, I think if because you can nuke Megaton and still be a very good character by the end of the game.
Yeah.
And I think, yes, you should be able to redeem yourself in some ways, but
that's why I think faction reputation is genius.
Faction reputation was a step forward, but I still think it's a little iffy, because I did try this for a test playthrough the other day, and if anybody wants to avoid spoilers for my New Vegas LP, click off for a second. But I've obviously, in the opening exchanges of my LP, destroyed the Legion, right? In almost every situation, thinking that I could get pardoned by them in the strip and become idolized by the end of the game. I did every Legion quest, almost every Legion quest. Highest I got was accepted.
Mm-hmm. What I want to see is, like, when you do the faction quest, like, for one in New Vegas, you take over Nipton. No, you don't. I'm chatting shit. You do one of them. What is it? I don't even know. Take that place from the Legion as the NCR.
Oh, Camp Forlorn Hope and...
Yeah, you capture... It's Camp Forlorn Hope against Nelson.
So
you can,
I want to see more
progression. You can either choose to take Nelson or choose to take Camp Forlorn Hope.
I want to see more progression, because if you take, like, Nelson, like, nothing happens.
Yes. No, that's a good shout. I think progression's a good shout, and I also think if you don't get there in time, the battle should have already have happened.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You're right, Deano, because if you take Nelson and you do all this crap, you'd think it'd be like, oh, well, now that we have all this position secured, let's move our troops forward and conquer the hill. Also, you spend all this time, I realized this the other day, it's a huge flaw. You spend all this time getting the boomers support. You have a huge bomber now that can drop payloads. You have their artillery access to. Why not just bomb the hell out of the hill? Why are you waiting for them to attack the fort? Why are you waiting for them to attack? Kill Caesar with bombs, blow his entire army to pieces, and then clean up anything that's left.
Because there's barely anything in the fort. And you can wipe out the fort in the game, and everyone's like, well, it doesn't really matter. They'll just find a new Caesar.
Well, no, because think about how much the fort you can actually travel to. A fraction.
Oh, fair enough.
If you look at the fort, it's gigantic.
Like, if challenge the, like, arguably the most important part, which is the part where their leader is.
Yeah, but there's only, like, a good 20, 30 guys there.
Yeah.
If you look at the camp overall, there's hundreds, and you can't have access to the legate, and let's admit it, the legate's the real leader. I think Caesar's a leader, but he's unimportant when the battle comes.
Oh, yeah,
you know
of course.
I mean, he has cancer.
This is
he's
told
gonna
in the
die.
game.
Does he just sit on his little high chair?
Okay, if anyone's still here, you obviously don't give a shit about spoilers. I think the progression is a problem, but what I will say is at least there is some progression. If you've done stuff in Prim, people in like Westside are going to talk about it, whereas in Skyrim it's like, I'm the Archmage of the Mages Guild, and you're still asking me to do fetch quests for you. And I can't turn around and just blast you.
Gay, yeah, that is gay. It's like not only that, but I don't feel okay in Fallout. Let's say in Fallout New Vegas, I get a quest, and at the end, I'm not paid for it. I'm not rewarded. I still feel
the experience
more because of the experience system, and also just the dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
I feel more important in that. I feel like, well, that's fine. I don't need payment. Thank you. This was a fun quest. In Skyrim, if I don't get a legitimate reward, I find myself always being angry at the person. I'm like, that's it?
Very
That's
monotonous questing. It's very repetitive. Yeah. It's MMO-like almost, with voice-acted ends and beginnings rather than just, like, pieces.
Kill 10 of these.
Exactly.
5 of these.
Go to this cave. While you're there, you're probably going to kill about 50 of these enemies, kill a boss, pick up the item, get back, get paid.
And I do think they focused a lot on the combat and not so much the story.
I still don't think the engine's great. I still don't think the combat's that interesting. I think it's too easy.
You know what? To be fair, a lot of people don't do this, and I think the game, I recently have been doing this, I think the game is twice as good if you read every book you find.
The books are awesome.
The books are awesome. So much backstory in those books. In fact, I'd say the books are better than the whole game. Like, it should just be called Skyrim.
Book collected. What I'll say is Deus Ex 3.
The game is just in this gigantic library. You
Deus
walk
Ex
around
3
and
has
read books.
a lot of great books too, except there's actually a good game there.
Oh yeah, no, Deus has a lot of things to read.
Deus Ex is I would argue is maybe a better library with a good game as well, for like
really?
half the price. I like the future setting more than the medieval setting.
There aren't as many books.
No,
yeah, you said that in the past.
Yeah. I don't know which setting I prefer. I think my favorite setting, and arguably, has to be post-apocalyptic civilization. I think it has to be rebuilding after some sort of apocalypse.
Some sort of bad thing.
Yeah. I just love the idea of the New California Republic. It's almost my favorite thing in video games. As much as I despise them in almost every game I play, the idea, I love it. They need to be there for me.
You'd have the Republic of Sussex and the Republic of Wales.
I like that.
Republic of
I don't know. I think, I don't know.
Like, I love the Enclave. I've said this in the past. The Enclave are awesome. But the NCR, to me, is Fallout. To me, this Fallout, to me, is the story of the NCR.
Have you played Fallout 2?
That's a good comparison.
No, I know they're not that prominent in there. I have played
I would disagree and say the other way around, that the NCR is the story of Fallout.
Rather than Fallout is the story of the NCR?
Shady Sands?
No, I think that the NCR emulates the story of Fallout in general, of progress. I don't think that Fallout necessarily has to be all about the NCR, but I do agree that the NCR emulates what Fallout should be about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if it were to involve a new faction, like, let's say, Rivet City, I think Rivet City could fulfill a role like that similarly if they did it correctly.
Yeah, I agree with you, because I I see what you mean, because progress in other places also extremely excites me. Like with House. House is one of my favourite characters in the whole series because of the progress he envisions. Might not promise it, but he envisions it.
And my favorite part about the game has always been the culture, not so much the progress. Is the post-apocalyptic culture.
To me, it's
and the culture
people.
That sort of the weird amalgamation of, and this may also be because I'm American and I don't want to be racist, but I have a probably deeper understanding of a lot of it, just because I've been raised in a lot of it, and
That's
so
not being racist.
It's not being racist. What's the word for that? They don't have a word for that.
Nationalist.
Nationalist is a different definition.
See you next Tuesday.
Yes, that's... Yes.
We'll leave it at that.
Wow. Did you guys know that... I didn't know that Skyrim released a high-resolution texture pack.
They used to... don't do the official one. The official one apparently is buggy as shit. Doesn't work. Go get an unofficial one.
Oops.
Go to the Nexus. Don't download off Steam.
Too late.
Yeah, but it's apparently not actually that good. Go get yourself a nice texture pack for Skyrim. Make sure you get Sky UI, because Sky UI is amazing. In fact, makes the game like 50% better for me. It's just better.
Thing is,
get yourself an EMB. Get yourself better water. Get yourself what is it?
Better ice. Better everything.
Climates of Tamriel. Couple of weapon packs, decent quest pack.
Here's my... Okay, that's enough. my opinion
and then
on
uninstall it.
My opinion on texture packs has always been like, why isn't the game good enough already?
Because it's 4 years old.
Textures.
Like that.
See,
that's my opinion. It's like, okay, it was good when it came out. It's 4 years later. We have higher resolutions, better textures in other games. Let's make this game that you love look as good as the games that came out yesterday.
See, I always think that because it came out 3 years ago, I'm used to it like that, and I don't want it to change.
It's a fair point. That's why you obviously have to get texture packs that fit the feel of the original game.
That's why I would rather, that's why I don't really like huge texture packs that change Fallout 3 and New Vegas. I think that's just part of the engine looking really weird.
NMC captures it okay. I can see your problems with it. I think
there are some texture packs that change it lightly and add some good things, but I've seen some on like YouTube channels which change everything. Yeah. They had shaders and all this crap.
The shaders is EMBs to me have always not been worth for the Fallout games. For Skyrim, that game is about making it look beautiful. Like I said, it's a big ocean with depth of a paddling pool. If you're gonna have the depth of a paddling pool, there better be a bloody big ocean. And so I'd mod the shit out of that to make it look beautiful, because that's all you're gonna get is the looks for me.
And I think that's why everyone gave it 10s on the first week, and they didn't look at the stories because they're walking around and they're like, whoa,
there's so much here. This is beautiful.
They're walking around and they're not paying attention to the culture. It's just there's so much to take in that they are not not analyzing it, and they're like, wow, this is amazing. The culture here is ridiculously cool. And you walk around and it's snowy and it's cool.
Yeah,
and
I'm
there's
assuming
houses
they can...
and you're in a mead hall and there's a nice fire burning and you got a bard in the corner singing.
Yeah, and they've done the single quest line. They've really enjoyed it the first time. And they've said, alright, well, if I wanted to do something that was completely different, I've discovered all these other quest lines. And I'm like, alright, I'm not going to go do them, but I know that they're there, and I can say, alright, well, I've done this really awesome quest line. The rest have got to be just as awesome, right? Then when you go and do them, they're exactly the same as the quest line you did the first time, and after, like, the 7th time, you're a bit bored.
That's the thing. I think there are lots of quests that are different in that game. For example, I like... My favorite quest... which, to be honest, has fetch and grab sort of things. But I like it because of the dialogue and the comedy. A Night to Remember, which is a Daedric quest for the Daedric Prince of Debauchery. And it's you get Sanguine Rose as the reward. Basically, this guy named Sam... Total spoiler if you haven't done it before, by the way. But this guy named Sam
done it, and
is
I also need the toilet, so I'm going to be right back.
I'll just listen to Marshall rage about everything.
It wasn't rage. I mean, I was just talking about my... Okay, so this guy named Sam is sitting there, and he's like, hey, you want a drink? And if you say yes, you basically get hammered. And it's the farther you are away from Markarth when you do this quest, the funnier it is, because you wake up the next day in Markarth, And if you do it in like Winterhold or Riften, it's so funny because you'll end up appearing on the other side of the map, drunk as hell, and you throw trash everywhere, and it's a hilarious quest.
That sounds quite funny.
How much have you played of the game, Deano?
I've probably hardly scratched the surface of it.
Really?
Yeah, I literally played it and then I just like pissed about.
What do you mean pissed about? Just like running around killing dragons?
With killing people as well. That's fun.
Oh, yeah. Going through a town and murdering everyone.
Yep.
That's another thing I hate about Skyrim. They have so many essential characters in that. It annoys the hell out of me. Sometimes you just want to kill the Jarl and it won't let you. Sometimes you just want to stab General Tullius in the mouth and it won't let you. Ugh, so...
It's like that literally... Fallout as well.
Fallout 3 was pretty bad in some areas. Fallout New Vegas, there's almost no essential characters. You can almost kill anyone you want in that game, which is awesome.
You can't kill children. That's always been like a ban. You can't kill children. That's always been like a ban. You can't kill the kiddies.
Oh, yeah. That's always been like... Well, you can install mods if you want. But...
You could kill kiddies in like Fallout 1, but then they banned it or something. Because apparently, like I think it was England got mad.
Yeah.
Like, we got mad.
Well, I remember there was a perk that had to do with killing children, and it said, and the picture for the original art for the perk was the Vault Boy kicking a pregnant woman in the stomach.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what the hell is this?
And it was, okay. See, the perk in Fallout 1 for killing children.
Okay.
Was originally the art for it. I was watching a video of this of the artist for that being interviewed. The art for it was originally Vault Boy kicking a pregnant woman in the stomach.
Right.
He said as well, it's offensive as it is, like you may as well just keep it offensive.
Yeah.
I remember the children in the European version were just completely removed before a patch. Or maybe it was the American version, actually.
You probably weren't even born by the
Wasn't
time
the American
Fallout 1 came
version.
out.
No, but I've played Fallout 1 more than 2 and 3. Surprisingly enough. I don't know why. I always sit down and I say, I'm going to play Fallout 1 and 2 again. And I get to the end of Fallout 1 and I'm like, I'm tired. I love you, Fallout 2, but I haven't played you more than twice. And I should.
I think, anyway, I think some of the quests, I love all the Daedric quests, I love all the temple quests, and I like the Thief quest. I like the Mage's Guild too.
Here's my problem with Bethesda, and I think it's a common problem throughout almost all of Bethesda's games. They are probably the best in the business at creating a world. Just without a doubt from my mind. The worlds they create, technically, visually, feeling-wise, the feeling they can create is sensational. But I think their writing in every game they produce almost is lacking somewhere. And I think it's just not deep enough. In certain games it's better. Fallout 3 is a great example of one of their better games in terms of storytelling. But I just think they're always lacking in that depth that makes me want to come back multiple times. On the plus side, their games are always open to modding, and they're always heavily modded, and that always warrants a second, third, fourth, 50th playthrough. But I just think they're lacking in certain aspects that just make me wouldn't rate their games on that high of a scale. Which is why I'm depressed for Fallout 4, but go on.
Also, before while you were gone, we talked about the fact that essential characters in Skyrim are so annoying. There's so many of them. Sometimes you just want to go through a hold, murder everyone, and then you get to the Jarl and you can't kill him. You go in Castle Dur and you want to kill General Tullius and all his merry men. You can't kill any of them. And in Fallout 3 it was pretty bad, and I love Fallout New Vegas because you can kill almost straight up anyone.
There's only your companions are essentially in non-hardcore mode, and Yes Man keeps coming back to life.
But even then that's
and
explained.
Victor.
You can still kill Yes Man. But you can still kill Victor. The point is they come back to... The point is they're programs that are loaded onto Securitrons. The idea is that you can't kill the program. You can destroy a random
Victor,
Securitron.
if you kill him in the strip and then kill him at his shack, I think he just goes dark forever. I think.
And your companions can't die either.
In non-hardcore mode.
It should do anyway. Like, it should be like Fallout 3.
Yeah. I don't know. Companions in New Vegas are so good story-wise, I'm just glad that I can have a choice not to let them die. I want to keep hearing their dialogue. Continuously. Over and over in a loop. I wish I had an MP3 of Boone's Quest, and I just listened to it every night on loop.
Wow.
I'm kidding. That would depress me.
I like Arcade's dialogue the best.
Arcade's...
His random dialogue. His random comments on the world.
Okay. Yeah.
Not his quest is awesome, but I love his random dialogue the most, where he's just like, haha, I'm not part of the Enclave. I sure know a lot about energy weapons, though. And he's like...
I like Raoul.
He's like, oh, I haven't seen a plasma rifle in a long time.
I mean, ever. Ever. Never seen a plasma rifle. Hey, that's a nice vertibird, Arcade. Why do you know what that is? That's a good question. Read in the book. Read in the book.
I read it in the book. You read a book?
No, I tell you who has the best.
Vertibirds?
I tell you who has the best, just random dialogue. Eddie. Can't beat Eddie for some random dialogue.
Yeah, he's just sitting there and it just goes beep beep. And then oh god, I think they should have made Eddie more like R2D2, like randomly making. I guess he is a little bit though, because he'll be like, ah!
That sounded like a vulture.
It's like it's like in Lonesome Road where Eddie's making these random beeps and we're like, "What's that, boy? What do you say?" And you like translate them.
Yeah. Oh god, and then, just in general, I like. Yeah, but getting back to, I love Fallout New Vegas, and one of the reasons is you can kill frickin' anybody you want. You want to kill Mr. House randomly? Do it. I mean, also for one of the 4 quests, but you want to kill him randomly
You want
as well.
to kill Kim? No, not Kimball. Crocker.
Liberty Prime's like the best for speed.
You want to kill frickin' Crocker? Shoot him right between the eyes. Who cares?
Yeah, you want to kill you want to kill Kaisar? He's right there.
Everyone does it.
You want to kill the Burn Man? He's right there.
No, it's awesome, and that's why they come up and they came up with an ingenious solution for it, because obviously the problem is if you kill everyone, you can't finish the game, and the solution was Yes Man.
Yeah.
It was an ingenious solution, and I
still think Yes Man should come back in Fallout 4 in some creepy way. Like,
in some really creepy way. It's plausible because he travels all over the place.
You're just like, you're in the Institute for the first time and it's all dark, and then suddenly just one face appears on the screen in front of you. And
well, I think it would be interesting. I have a feeling they're going to choose the NCR ending as the canon ending. But if they chose Yes Man as the canon ending, that would be interesting, because at the end, it's really creepy at the end, because he's like, by the way,
I'm gonna make some changes.
I found out a way to turn that thing off that keeps me compliant. Now I'm my own man. I've got to do a lot of work. It's like, what is he planning
you
to
might
do?
see me you might not see me for a while. I'll still be there, but I'll just be offline.
I'll be in my basement working, making a dragon, just some machine that's gonna kill everybody. Like, that, it's plausible though. If he really does do something crazy, he can come back in Fallout 4 and like,
I can see Yes Man in like an Enclave armored Securitron body. You know what I mean? Like the Enclave engineer the Securitrons. Oh, Enclave.
I'm back, everyone. Did you miss me?
Yeah.
That's what it'll say.
I think
the trailer should just be zooming in on Yes Man going, "I'm back," and then just end the trailer and then put the date on it.
I know you're scared, by the way, about Fallout 4. I mean, obviously you've said it before, but I mean, you should be a little bit excited because you yourself like to see the progression of humanity in the game. That's one of your favorite features. And in Fallout 4, it's gonna have I think it's gonna have a good mixture of progress and savagery.
Yeah, of course I hold hopes for it, obviously. I mean, 3 wasn't a complete mess. Like, as much as I trash it, it wasn't a complete mess for me. But
I loved it.
Anything without Chris Avellone on board is just, for me, gonna suffer on the story side. Like, to me, if you don't have Chris Avellone there, you can't tell the story in the same way as the others. You just kind of can't. If they can, then bloody hell, hats off to them. Like, if they can do it without the writer, then fair enough. But they haven't yet.
I think they can find. I'm sure. I know there's writers out there that can write very well. But
yeah, it's not about writing well, because I know Bethesda has probably over 100 good writers. It's just about writing in that way. It's the story that you've been telling, and it's the feel that you've been feeling. And when he wasn't on board for Fallout 3, I felt that loss. I did. And I think if he's not on board for Fallout 4, then I just don't think it can live up to the original trilogy, which for me is 1, 2, and New Vegas.
Or 1, 2, and Tactics.
Oh, yes. Gotta love
We
tactics.
don't speak about tactics.
The first rule of Fallout, you do not speak about tactics.
why doesn't anyone speak? It's got a great backstory.
If you have to,
Don't you like?
you have to play the game. You have to play the game to get the backstory.
No. First rule of Fallout, you don't talk about Brotherhood of Steel.
Wait, Tactics and Brotherhood of Steel was the same game?
No.
It's called Fallout Tactics, Brotherhood of Steel.
Yes, but there's also Fallout Brotherhood of Steel.
Seriously?
On the PS2.
It was released on the PS2 as a action game. It was terrible, and no one likes to talk about it. It's like in the corner. It's like that creepy cousin at the party, and New Vegas is like having a good time. Fallout 3's sipping wine, and then oh god, what's that? Is that your retarded cousin over there?
No, he's over there like the shunned like redhead in the family. The retarded cousin is Van Buren. Let's be perfectly honest.
Yeah, because he wasn't finished. Right?
Yeah, Van Buren.
And then
let's be perfectly honest.
Man, we do not sound politically correct at all. Right now. But anyway,
let's be honest. I love Obsidian. I love Interplay. I love Black Isle. I had faith, but let's be honest. Van Buren was looking awful.
Oh, it was. Did you play the demo?
No.
I mean, did you see the demo?
Yeah, I think I saw it. I just remember me being like, "Oh God, they've ruined it."
Yeah, Van Buren is the retarded cousin, and Brotherhood of Steel is like
the redhead.
Is like the creepy incest cousin.
Yeah.
Like who no one wants to talk about it, but we're all pretty sure he raped his sister.
Yeah, let's try and stay as politically correct as possible. But he's the one that's a different race to the rest of the family. And
that's terrible.
And
I'd say that's Tactics.
Oh, that's a fair point, actually. No, I'd say that's 3.
I'd say 3 is like the uncle who's like trying to be all cool.
It's a good joke, actually.
And I'd say Fallout 2 and 1 are like the patriarchs of the family. Like,
yeah.
And New Vegas is like the new son, and he's like, hey.
I know, because New Vegas has been influenced by his uncle. But he's been born from his parents, though.
He's been born from his parents, but his uncle's like, hey, kid, you want to try 3D graphics? Come in the back shed.
So the uncle...
Hey, kid, you want to try out some first-person shooters?
Hey, kid, do you want to pop some mentats?
What?
Hey, kid, do you want to pop some mentats? Just come inside my bag.
Hey, kid, I got stim packs. He's just...
I've got super stim packs.
You can't get high on stim packs. No,
you can on
stim poisoning.
You can. No, you can get high on super stim pack.
Moving on.
You can? I guess so, because you're injecting it. And the thing is, I think there's a references to the fact you can get high with regular stim packs, because there's stim packs all over the Fiends base. Maybe Fiends are stupid and think they can get high.
No.
Well, if you think about it, stim packs were originally morphine, and you can definitely get high on morphine.
I thought Med-X was originally morphine.
Really? Oh, what were stim packs? I guess stim packs were always stim packs.
Yeah.
Because stim packs, they took. Fallout was not the first person to come up with stim packs.
Oh,
stim packs it's originally in Quake.
Yeah.
I believe Quake or.
I mean, I assume I'm not a biologist at all, but I assume stimulation package. It's some sort of chemical that will stimulate certain hormones inside you that repairs. Repairs.
It may be an actual thing.
Yeah, I'm assuming it exists in scientific world somewhere that it'll stimulate portions of your body that how your skin repairs itself and everything inside your body will repair itself over time. I assume stim packs will stimulate your body to just do that now.
Stimulate your capulates. I don't think the stim packs, if they exist in real life, are quite as magical as stim packs in Fallout.
I don't think some random courier could get his hold on over 1,000 of them.
I literally just cut my artery in half. Stim pack. Oh, I'm better. Oh, I was just shot in the brain.
Literally just survived a mini nuclear blast in front of me. Stim pack.
stim pack.
Oh, my leg fell off.
Oh,
Stim
it was a
pack.
blast, so I'll take 2 stim packs. To be fair.
My leg fell off. Oh shit! Stim
pack.
pack. Oh look, it's grown
Stim
back.
pack.
I just took a bullet to the brain. Stim pack.
I stuck a bullet to the brain. I took 10 more. Fallout.
Yeah, but one thing I'll say to you, Marshall, about the defeating thing, going back to that point, is I imagine if they weren't getting high on stim packs, they were taking so many chemicals that they were just like, oh god, we're getting screwed up, and the only way to stop like themselves from dying is they was taking the stim packs.
Yep.
So
Maybe. That actually makes sense, yeah.
they were smart fiends. They were injecting themselves with everything and stim packs.
I love this analogy, though, that we came up with. So what was it? Okay, so Fallout 1 is the dad, Fallout 2 is the mom.
I'd say the other way around, but yeah.
Oh, okay. You get a fatherly feel from Fallout 2?
I guess it's sexist, but yeah. I'm not gonna go into why, but yeah.
Because that's gonna get really sexist.
Yeah. I'm happy with racism, but I'm not happy with sexism.
This is how that would go if someone asked you. You'd just be like, Fallout 1's for girls.
I just feel Fallout 1 has a more like mellow, more calm, weaker.
Well, that's not
feel.
sexist.
It is now.
And then Fallout New Vegas is the son, 3 is the uncle, Tactics is the Hispanic child in the corner.
Notice this,
Brotherhood of
though.
Steel is the redhead, and Van Buren is the retarded sister.
I noticed this, though. Fallout New Vegas is a little bit racist. There aren't nearly as many minorities in Fallout New Vegas as there are in Fallout 3. There's a ton of minorities. Oh, then again, it is Washington, D.C. But
And it is the Mojave Wasteland.
Well, it's just like DC's pretty. Anyway, I just man.
I did download a mod to give the Zion tribals African American variants.
That's cool.
Story time.
What I
Not
think,
yet,
no,
Dino.
but like,
Sorry.
Damn it.
At the end of this
look at the
topic, you'll have the rest of the show.
Look at the companions for New Vegas. Either robots or white.
Or robot dogs.
Yeah, but cyborgs. Okay.
Also badass females.
Yeah, but white.
Yeah, but females.
All
Good
white.
females.
All of them white. In Fallout 3, Charon, he's a ghoul. Who knows? He's tall as hell, so he might have been black.
Ghoul in New Vegas.
That's true. There was a ghoul in New Vegas, but he's Mexican. Oh, there
He's
we go.
Mexican.
Minority. Anyway,
Wow.
that's not racist. He's literally
No,
Mexican.
I'm just saying we've just found a Mexican, and so that kind of
Isn't
defeats your
Raoul
point.
Mexican?
Yeah, we're talking about Raoul.
Yeah.
I heard you were.
So anyway, but you got Charon in Fallout 3. You got shit. No.
Jericho, Clover, R.L.
Clover's
Sergeant.
black. What's his name? Who else is that one guy's black?
Fox?
Wow, that one guy.
Butch? No, I'm pretty sure there's no black
Which
male.
is white.
Butch and Jericho, and they're both white.
Hispanic.
I thought there
Jericho's
were more-
Hispanic.
I thought there were more minorities.
And then
Jericho's black inside.
you've got a super mutant.
Paladin Star, Paladin Cross.
Yeah. But
He's black.
you've got super mutant and a nightkin in New Vegas.
Super mutants are black.
I mean, if you look at the New Vegas companions, you've got a wide variety, not of minorities, but of different types, if you know what I mean. Because you've got a Mexican ghoul to start with. You've got a robot dog, an Enclave robot, a former Enclave member, a member of the NCR who's a former soldier of the NCR. You've got a Nightkin. You've got a Caravaneer, former Caravaneer. Brotherhood of Steel. I think I've covered everyone.
They're what?
Hmm?
I didn't hear what you said. You said Brotherhood of Steel what?
Oh, I just said Brotherhood of Steel for Veronica.
Oh yeah.
So they cover a lot.
There's no one for the Legion, which that's always
There was
pissed me
meant
off.
to be Ulysses, but he got cut. And
Well, that
plus
would
Cass,
kind of ruin the DLC.
yeah, Cass would support you with the Legion.
Yeah, but there's no one who won't support you if you go with the NCR. And that's what annoys me. There's no one against the NCR. Now, some of them are like, oh, the NCR is
Pretty much all of them.
They'll still go with
yeah.
In fact, most of them think the NCR is gay, but they'll still go with it. And
Actually, most of them think the Legion is gay. They just don't like the NCR.
Okay, I think Raul was the closest thing to not thinking terrible things about the Legion, because he's been through Colorado, and he's like, well, I mean, they cleaned the place up. Used to be a shithole.
Yeah,
you know,
Arizona, yeah.
Not Colorado, Arizona.
Which, by the way, is where I think Fallout 4 should be. But anyway.
Well, that'd be interesting.
I love Arizona.
Dude, what would be interesting about that is if the canon is, like I think it's going to be, NCR winning, then we would see another type NCR versus Legion war, except to be in their home territory.
Yeah.
Because if the Legion win the dam, they're going to push back over the Colorado. I mean, guaranteed. Unless General Oliver really is that shitty of a general. Anyway,
I think if the NCR lost the dam, they'd go north.
If the NCR lost the dam, they would just pull back.
Yeah, and
they wouldn't go north. That would be a disaster.
I think they'd pull back.
Move all their troops north.
No, I think they'd pull back, and then once they decided, okay, we're going to expand, they won't go east again. They'll go north.
Oh yeah, perhaps.
And fight the 80s tribes.
I think it's fair to say that they've already have, and we don't know.
I don't think they have by 2077.
You don't think they've gone into Canada?
No.
Anchorage would be
not by
not
by the
New
Vegas.
Post-apocalyptic Anchorage or Canada would be a good DLC or a good game.
I think they would have. I think they would have settled the core region, and I think that's it by the time New Vegas comes around, because we know of what's that city called? I forget what the city's called, but the place.
Boneyard.
No, not that. Not California. It starts with a G. It's the one that the new Canaanites control. In the north, we know they control by the new Canaanites, and then the northeast is controlled.
Salt Lake City.
It's by there, but it's a post-war name starting with G. I can't know it, but it is close to Salt Lake City. We know somewhere over there, the new Canaanites have their place. And
the George Republic.
And then
the Republic of George.
And then the northeast is controlled by the 80s. Well, northeast from the.
Is it a real life location as well?
It might be.
I'll have a look.
Thank you.
I still think the Republic of Dave was hugely underdeveloped. I think they should have let you become a citizen, have residence. I think they should have developed that town because it was so funny. It was a great environment. I think they should have. Oh my God, that would be awesome. Is if in the future that becomes like a sprawling city.
I just take over the wasteland.
Fallout 4.
Like they clear out old only of all the death claws, and that becomes the Dave's Republic.
Yes. I think Fallout 4 has to go into the 24th century.
Whoa.
Like, it's
jumping the gun
it's
there.
It's the next main series game. All other games have gone a reasonable distance. Fallout 3 went almost 100 years. I think Fallout 4 needs to at least be in 2300 odd.
I thought it wasn't the main series.
Well, it's going to be called Fallout 4.
How do you spell the Canaanites thing that you were talking about?
Just type in Joshua Graham. I'm sure like somewhere on there it'll say New Canaanite.
Spell what? Josh?
Anyway,
Joshua
I think the
Graham?
perfect
The Burned Man. Just type in The Burned Man.
I think the perfect system would be a mix of the karma and the faction system, because I think certain factions. I think you should have a faction system, obviously. But I also think karma works. It makes sense.
Grand Canyon.
Someone's not going to deal with you if you're a total bastard, no matter who you side with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think there should be a mix, but I also think it should not be a number system at this point. I think...
No.
Yeah, I think there should be like, oh, you did this against us. To redeem yourself, you have to do this. Or some factions will just be like, you did this. We're just not going to trust you. And even if you got, like, you did something bad against the NCR, and you even got as a trooper, you'd be like the trooper that's like an outcast. That's like, we don't
That's
really
something
like
I love Fallout does. A lot of games say that you can't make something not possible to do. Like, you can't block off an option. Like, no matter what, something has to be redeemable. And I think, not just Fallout New Vegas, but I think Fallout 3 does this a lot too. Fallout 3 and New Vegas say, well, you know, if they screwed up, they screwed up. They can't do that quest anymore. You know, it's like, that's part of the game. Get over it. and I like that.
If you didn't go to this
You
area,
know what I mean?
Like some game developers will say, look how much work we put into this graphics, this voice acting, this backstory. What if people don't see it? We have to force them through a linear path where they see all of our hard work. Whereas the Fallout developers will say, we've put in so much backstory, we know there won't be a single player who's read it all. We don't care, because somebody's going to read everything we do. Somebody's going to read it.
Oh, and it's and by hiding it, it's so much better. You have to seek it out, and you'll be playing your fifth playthrough. You'll be a hardened veteran. You think you've seen it all, and then you're like, holy crap, is that a roach king?
I missed a unique weapon in New Vegas.
At least a unique weapon or a new random encounter.
By now, I was doing my Let's Play. Actually, I was watching your Let's Play, and there was a unique weapon that I never got.
What was it?
The humble cudgel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the humble cudgel. It's very humble, and it's good.
Grand Canyon.
That's where he got thrown.
That's what you were looking for.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the Grand Canyon.
Wait. The Divide is the Grand Canyon?
No,
that makes
sense. Is the
sense.
Divide the Grand Canyon? It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Because
so.
Colorado River flows through it. Dude, how have we not realized that until
I'm pretty sure we did, but then it's...
You're talking about the thing we did.
Like, I'm pretty sure we did before Lonesome Road came out. Oh, Ogden. Right. No, it didn't start with a G, sorry.
You fag.
Sorry. It's in the ruins of Ogden in northern Utah.
What is?
The town that the New Canaanites controlled.
What's in the ruins?
Well, it was New Canaan.
Oh, okay.
Then they got wiped out.
Dead horses. The fuck?
The Dead Horses are the tribe that Joshua Graham controls.
And they like killing horses.
Oh yeah, New Canaan was in Van Buren.
Yeah, there's a lot of... Did you know that Ganon was in Van Buren?
Yeah, I think I did.
That was weird.
Van Buren
there's a lot of shit in Van Buren that they carried over.
He apparently made an appearance in Van Buren. Apparently he was mentioned in Dead Money and Lonesome Road.
What, New Canaan?
There was... part of Van Buren took place in space.
Say again?
Part of Van Buren was in a spaceship.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Van Buren's cool.
Well, be careful.
Van Buren was like a really...
When you go in space, we found that Fallout doesn't do well there.
Because ballistic orbital base.
That's what it was,
orbital base 001.
And that was a reference to, obviously, Mothership Zeta. But,
Yeah,
I mean,
Ogden,
that was bad for certain reasons.
Yeah. Ogden is the town I was thinking of. So Ogden, we know, to the north, is controlled right now by... I think it's now Caesar, actually. But at the time of New Vegas, it was controlled by the New Canaanites, like a couple of years prior. Then Caesar took it over. He's heading west. Eventually, I think Caesar, if the NCR doesn't head north, I think Caesar will go all the way to Washington. And I think Caesar's land's going to grow bigger and bigger. Obviously, it's Blitzkrieg. Obviously, they're not going to have it as controlled as the NCR. But they're going to have a lot of land. And you know from dialogue in the game that although they don't have, like, a proper, like, state, they keep the roads safe. So, I like Arizona as a Fallout location. That's my choice. If I was on the Bethesda team, I'd put that forward. Arizona.
For the Rusty Hooks faction.
So everyone's just invested in Van Buren now, but...
The Rusty Hooks.
Is there any other topics on the Fallout thing that we need to cover?
Story time.
I mean, there's lots of things, but I think to finish it off, I think we should just...
go on. If we can make this stretch to an hour and 40 minutes, Deano can have 20 minutes of story time. We can end the podcast off there.
How much are we at now?
An hour and 10.
Okay. I think Fallout is I mean, Putty and I obviously disagree, but I think I have hope for Fallout 4 as long as they don't have multiplayer.
They'll Fallout Online. There you go.
I like the idea of Fallout Online.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I say, hey, if you want a multiplayer game, let's keep it separate, separate but equal.
Have a different team develop it.
The way I could see it working, like you've got Vault
Give it
City.
to 2K.
Like, let's say everyone's like a descendant from like Vault City or something. They'll come out the vault like then.
An example of a game that I think would be better without multiplayer, and before I'm burned on a stick by all of its numerous fans, Borderlands. I think without co-op, that game could have been improved in story.
They had the
budget,
they had the talent. They had everything they could have wanted to make that. If it'd be single player, I think it would have been exactly the same. I really do.
You think so? I don't think so. I think the experience was focused on... No. I'm not saying they didn't have the budget or the time. The experience was focused and geared towards co-op. That's the point. It's focused to be able to play with other people.
I think they did the system, whereas, especially in Borderlands 2, I've always said that, I said this to you, the storytelling was fantastic, and if the story had been there, if they had written it better, I still think that story would have been fine. They just needed to write it better. I still think Borderlands 2, the storytelling was spot on. Everything they did in that game would have told a fantastic story if there was a fantastic story there to tell. And there wasn't.
Yeah. I think it's funny. It's a funny game. Just like Portal 2, it's funny. It's hilarious, but I don't know.
So, no multiplayer for Fallout 4.
No. They haven't.
Not even as a separate mode. No?
Not even as a separate
mode.
Not even
as a separate mode developed by a separate team.
Well, that would be stupid.
Medal of Honor. Didn't do it well, but it did it.
Wasn't that a hated game?
Oh yeah, it's a disgraceful
awful game.
I'm just saying it's
half.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying it's half. Yeah, but of course, if that was developed by, I think it was DICE, made a decent multiplayer, and then I forget who made the single player, but whoever it was, inexperienced team shit. It probably wasn't inexperienced, but they were shit.
First rule of Medal of Honor: we don't speak about Medal of Honor
unless you're talking about the Infinity Ward ones, which were actually good.
Infinity Ward made Medal of Honor?
Yes, they did back on the PS2, I think.
They made what?
Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor?
Yeah.
That's weird.
My opinion, Infinity Ward's best work. But Medal of Honor was developed...
Let me just confirm.
Go ahead and confirm. Medal of Honor did two different devs, and if it had been two better devs, I think it would have been fine. Which is why I think if Fallout came out and said, alright, Bethesda is working on the multiplayer and Obsidian is working on the single player, then I'd be happy.
I think, I don't want it to be multiplayer no matter what. And I think, even as a separate feature, I know it sounds weird, but I am unnaturally, and I want to call it a, what is that called? Like, if you're scared of clowns, it's a blank fear. What's it called? Like irrational. I want to call it an irrational fear, but I don't think it's an irrational fear. I genuinely think multiplayer brings down the quality of any game it touches. Except like, a classic FPS shooter where the whole point is multiplayer in the first place, and by all means, have it. Exactly. And that's a game where multiplayer is the purpose. Yeah. But if multiplayer is not the purpose, it's just distracting.
I can tell you a game where multiplayer doesn't bring it down. Football Manager.
Well, I don't play sports games, but
all 22 original team members of Infinity
That's true. I consider FM. I consider FM to be a little bit strategy, and I'd say strategy games in general aren't brought down by multiplayer.
Civ 5 is brought down by its multiplayer for me.
You think so?
So there's a new Civ game coming out.
I know, it's a space one.
It looks pretty cool.
In space?
Yeah.
Yeah. Civ Beyond Earth.
It's not in space, I don't think. It's on an alien planet.
You can. There's like a orbital layer where you can have satellites.
You're right. So that's an interesting idea from...
So it'd kind of be like Spore.
Yeah, except it'll only be like the last stage, or I guess it's the one before last.
There's a Spore 2 coming out, isn't there?
I haven't heard anything about Spore 2. Although Spore was a bit of a retard of a game. A lot of good ideas. A lot of good ideas not executed properly, I have to be honest.
A good idea, shit execution.
Mm-hmm. Back to Fallout 4.
Story time?
It is if we can't. Let's get to hour or 20 minutes, then we let Deano close off the show.
Man, this is gonna be a long... Okay, anyway.
I want him to be 2 hours, but it doesn't feel like we can cover 2 hours. It feels like we're running out of stuff to say now.
Well, we're on 40 minutes.
No, we're...
Well, I don't think we planned this one enough. I think we just sort of like, let's sit down and talk.
I just think if we have topics, it's going to be like, so what do you guys think about this topic? And Deano's going to like sum the topic up in about a second, and we're all going to be like,
time. With that phrase.
And Deano's good at just taking topics that are supposed to be like an hour and making them a minute. And so
Subway.
it's just I don't think planning on.
What do you guys think about crafting?
Oh, crafting. That's actually a good point.
Crafting is fun.
Yeah, crafting needs to be expanded a little bit more, I think.
It does.
Crafting was expanded in New Vegas a lot. Thought it was alright. Then it was expanded in Honest Hearts a little bit. Thought it was alright. Needs to get more expansion.
Oh yeah. Well, I think every DLC added their own flair to crafting.
Oh yeah, because of the I liked Old World Blues' crafting.
Honest Arts obviously had a lot of it because of survival was important in that, but
Same with
I think
Dead
all of them
Money.
added a lot of crafting.
Not sure about Lonesome
Dead
Road.
Money had. Oh yeah, I think so.
What did Lonesome Road
They
add
had some stuff.
from crafting point of view?
They didn't have as much,
Yeah.
but they had some. And but no, yeah, Old World Blues had a ton of cool crafting stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Especially with the plant maker thingamajig. Old World Blues. I don't know if I should actually say this, but I think Old World Blues is my favorite game of all time. I think specifically I can pinpoint it down to that 10 hours as being like the best 10 hours of my life.
Why am I on the Call of Duty wiki? Why is it sort of making a reference to Liverpool?
Way!
It says Call of Duty, no one edits alone.
Yes!
Like, is that a reference to Liverpool?
And now you're gonna believe us, and now you're gonna believe us, and now you're gonna believe us, we're gonna win the league. We're gonna win the league.
Nope.
Yes, we are.
They're not.
So anyway, yeah, I think crafting should be expanded on. I think generally that having more items in the game is not a bad thing.
And, I don't know about that. If you just... I think if you could...
Well, an exorbitant amount to the point where you only run into like one thing every. You're like, oh, that's new. Oh, that's new.
Yeah.
Oh, that's new. That'd be ridiculous.
I think if you
But
reduce...
I think having new things and rare things is
To
always
me,
interesting.
I think you either keep it the same or you reduce and improve quality. I think every item should have a backstory behind it. They expanded that in New Vegas. I think they should...
You
put it even
think
further.
red spoons should have a backstory behind them?
Yeah, they need to be there for a reason.
So there should be like a factory, like a red spoon factory, and some guy's like, why do they keep making all these red spoons? They suck.
Let me define my point there. Armor, weapons. Yeah, armor and weapons then. Every armor and weapon should have a backstory behind it.
That's true. I think the best backstory for a random, extremely reoccurring item, well, obviously Nuka-Cola and Sunset Sarsaparilla have their backstories.
Great backstories
but,
for especially Sunset Sarsaparilla.
Yeah. I think, though, a perfect one that is just sort of there throughout the game and you get tints of it and it's just sort of integrated throughout it is in Dead Money, the space age knives. There's a ton of backstory for the cosmic knives. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Putty?
yeah, they brought them in so that they...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they...
And there's just little notes everywhere about like people saying like, why do we have all these knives? We have more knives than food to cut it with.
And then they were
it's just
they were like, oh, this chef cut his finger off. That thing is just like cuts through butter or something. And then they had this thing where they had to use the cosmic knives in order to open up the suits.
Yeah. So I think the cosmic knives had a big part
Did they
of
order
that.
in all of those Cosmos knives because Sinclair knew the suits would get trapped? Conspiracy!
I think it was just because they had a discount.
Wait, was the cosmic knives made in the Big Empty?
Yeah, I think so. Everything was made in the Big Empty. Throw it in.
Almost everything was.
Everything in Dead Money was made in the Big Empty. And everything... No, Honest Hearts had nothing to do with Big Empty. That's
Let me think.
that's not true. Cazadors
Oh,
were
fuck
invented
this.
in the Big Empty, and they're all over Honest Hearts.
Wait, I got one. Joshua Graham said that he was worried about Ulysses who passed through the Big Empty.
Ah.
12 degrees of
I
Kevin
think-
Bacon, bitch.
I think I don't know. I think in general the Big Empty is like
The Big Empty's awesome. And to me,
Big Empty
if they
is
can do
awesome.
Big Empty, Fallout 4, like, because they're the same type of thing, Institute, Big Empty.
the Institute. Yeah.
If they can do it.
I can definitely. In fact, when I heard about the Institute, the first thing I thought of was the Big Empty. I was thinking, oh, it's gonna be
thing
like
with
that.
what made
Like,
all
it's
of
gonna be a
those-
compound with a bunch of nerds
Yeah.
making science.
But it wasn't actually the think tank that was so good about the Big Empty, it was everything else. To me,
it was really funny. Big Empty had so much comedy.
There's comedy. The feeling was awesome. The music was incredible. The weapons were fun. The enemies were fun. The Mobius was awesome.
Out of all games, you'll probably like this. Out of all games, I think my favorite soundtrack to just listen to is probably Deus Ex 3. I love the soundtrack of that game.
Deus Ex 3.
We do not speak of Deus Ex 3. First rule of Deus Ex, we don't speak about Deus Ex.
We do not speak of Deus Ex 2.
And 3.
3's good.
Yeah, we don't talk about Missing Link.
Missing Link's awesome.
I probably shouldn't have said
You're talking about Invisible War.
Oh, that's Missing Link is the DLC. What's
Invisible
it
War.
called?
Invisible War.
Yeah, that's it is.
We also don't talk about The Fall anymore. Alright?
The what?
Fall.
The full
Deus Ex The Fall.
mobile version.
Mobile.
Which they brought
We
to
also don't
PC.
speak about Roller Coaster Tycoon 4 mobile.
That's a thing?
Yep.
We do not talk about New Star Soccer.
That's a good
That
game.
is a good game.
Don't judge.
It's addicting. It's a shit game, but it's addicting.
What's it like? What do you do in it? You punch people?
No, you play a really shit version of football.
You play a dumbed down version of Jumpers for Goalposts,
So it's like those old little plastic games you got where you click buttons.
Yes, Marshall.
where you chat shit.
Yes, Marshall.
Yes, Marshall. That's what it is. You can go back and you can go back now. You've
Do you think we can do 20 more minutes of Fallout talk, or 20 more minutes of any talk?
20
I
more
could
minutes of
do
me.
20 more minutes of Fallout talk.
Alright, alright, come on, Marshall.
Tell stories.
20 more minutes, and then Deano can tell his stories.
Story time.
No, we got 20 more minutes. Come on, Marshall.
Can I talk about stories? Let's have a little break.
Oh, what are we gonna do? If we break up the Fallout talk, it's gonna break up our topics.
Yeah, we'll come back for like the second half. Like it's just like football. half time.
No, we refuse.
Okay.
No, it's half time.
No, you got 19 minutes, then you can talk about your stories. Marshall, Fallout talk.
Okay,
Story
so
time.
what? What do you? I thought about this the other day. Something that needs to be done in Fallout 4.
story
Charisma
time?
needs to be given a purpose.
Charisma was
Yeah,
given a
story
purpose in Fallout 3. And I think the one big thing...
Whoa, what?
Charisma was...
Maybe it was given a purpose in Fallout New Vegas.
What? Charisma?
Yeah.
Really?
It was given because of nerve.
Oh, yeah, but that didn't matter that much.
Yeah,
No,
what I
it
don't-
didn't.
what I
What was
don't
his
like
purpose in
in
Fallout?
Fallout 3, it factored into the percentage.
What I don't like about Fallout New Vegas is that you have like the 15 out of 20. Like I don't. like
I
that.
much preferred the percentage.
Yeah, because in real life you're not going to fail like every time you ask something.
And you're not going to succeed every time.
Unless
It
you're
depends
awesome.
on-
Percentage.
It
The
depends. how
percentage
dumb it
adds
is.
this sort of thing of uncertainty. Like you're like, what's going to happen? And
Yeah.
you'll
And
randomly...
I also think it should be
you know-
hidden, like it was in the original Fallout games. Like,
Yes.
and
Because then you'll never
yeah,
know.
they never know. Like you're about to.
Like it is in Skyrim.
Is it?
In Skyrim,
Oh, yeah,
it literally
is,
just says persuade, and you either get it or
Oh
you
no,
don't.
I don't even
It-
think the speech check should be shown when you're taking a speech check.
Oh no, yeah, that would be even more interesting.
That's what it was back in
It's
Fallout.
just
You'd like say to Jericho, not Jericho. Was it Jericho? No, Ian. You'd say to Ian, "Do you want to come with me?" And then he either says yes with some money, yes with some loot, or just no. And you don't know that's a speech check until like you've read the guide or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's also.
That'd be very interesting.
But I'm
That'd
happy
add a
with
lot.
Fallout 3's way of doing it, where you just had a percentage. I'd be happy with that. That's good. Plus, it gives a purpose to charisma, because obviously, even if you're 100 speech and you have 1 charisma, you're still not going to be as good as if you had 90 speech and 10
I
charisma.
still think, even with that, I forgot about that, but I still think charisma needs more of a purpose. Like it needs something more. Maybe, or maybe speech just needs to
Maybe
carry out beyond actual dialogue. You know
I was
what
just
I mean?
thinking about a morale system, and I thought, nah, it's getting too Sims. It's getting too Sims. I was thinking charisma would make your morale go down less.
Well,
Going
if
back-
it was
back.
getting towards Sims,
That's
there would be
right.
30 DLC and each would cost $30.
Going back to talking earlier about England being in Fallout and how it could be bad. Loxley from Fallout 1, I think, where he goes, "What the bloody hell are you talking about, that guy?" He talks about Robin Hood. Yeah.
Fallout
Yeah.
Robin Hood.
And then Ireland, you got Colin Moriarty as well.
Ah.
Oh yeah, he's Irish.
Yeah, I'm
Dude,
looking
where
at
did
the
that
wiki.
dude come from? I mean, the Irish get here. You know, they'll get here. They find us. But anyway, but yeah, I wonder how he got. I mean, they got him over on a boat, but what kind of boat? I want to find this magical boat that's taking over all these.
What is Britain like? Obviously, they must be a little bit more advanced.
Obviously, it's kind of shitty because they took a boat.
Yeah, but they took a boat. Think about that. They took a boat. They're sending people to America. That's obviously got to show some sort of civilization.
Let's look at the whole list of pre-war countries that have mentioned. Austria, Canada, China, Germany, Israel, Italy, Mexico, Mongolia, Soviet Union,
these are mentioned.
Taiwan, United Kingdom, and the United States.
These are all mentioned.
Taiwan
So
is mentioned.
What happened in Taiwan?
Let's have a look.
The factories exploded.
Taiwan, also
plastic toys were crushed.
Do you think Russia has a higher population?
Apparently Taiwan was part of the Republic of China. What about Switzerland? Switzerland is a country prior to the Great War.
They're still
You
soaking
gotta
in
think
money.
Russia's got a lot of non-irradiated zones. Because of how big it is.
Yeah, because why would they bomb Siberia? Same thing with Canada.
Yeah.
If the Lone Wanderer's karma is equal 3-dog will comment, maybe the vault door leads to Switzerland.
That's the mention. That's the mention.
And apparently you got the Sig Sauer company is based here. Switzerland apparently had bad relationship with exporting guns to the US.
So,
As Buster complains about finding so few 14mm pistols.
see, so maybe if we went to a different country, we would have a completely different set of weapons, and the backstory could
Here's
be
the
it's all
thing.
Swiss.
I know that the European countries, like not necessarily Britain, but all of Western Europe, mainland, was at intense war with the Middle East. So over resource wars. So obviously mainland Europe is toast, but who knows what happened to Britain? I'm not sure if they were really involved in the conflict. You know?
Israel as well.
We know the reason why, mainly, we have life in the US right now, not right now, in the Fallout universe, is the vaults. So how is there life elsewhere? Like, I'd like to learn that backstory. Like, which vault did Shady Sands come from? Was it 13?
No, it could be, because that's where you come
it's 15,
from.
I'm pretty sure. I'm sure it's 15. I'll look this up.
I'll have a look for you. I'm on the wiki. No.
Shady Sands.
Yeah, you know what the funny thing is? Like in Fallout 1, you can like ask, like, what do you know? And then you type in Shady Sands. They're like, huh?
Yeah. Which vault is
And then you ask Shady Sands.
Vault 15. No, en route to Vault 15. What?
Emerging from Vault 15.
They did come from Vault 15.
The town of Shady Sands is the largest urban area that was built from scratch. Post-nuclear United States founded in 2142 by one of the groups emerging from Vault 15.
It was jump-started using the GEC.
Forming one of the most influential political factions to emerge from the post-war United States, the New California Republic.
Leaders:
Boomity boom boom.
Aradesh, Tandy, Tibbet, Pearson, Kimball.
Ah, Peterson, the finest president we've ever had.
Tandy.
I know, I was just, because it's my name. Anyway,
Tandy.
I know Tandy's the
Tandy
best.
is the
I like
best
Tandy
character of all time.
There was
too. Bruh,
supposed to be a
she's on the
Fallout.
$100 bill.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be a Fallout
She's
iPhone.
rolling in money.
What you say, do you know?
In fact, there was supposed to be a Fallout iPhone game that was cancelled.
Good.
What was it supposed to be called?
Fallout iPhone.
Good.
Wow, that's a really creative name.
Let's have a look. What other cancelled games were there? Where did I just find them?
Fallout
I think there
Online.
should be more apps
Okay.
for Fallout, but just like lore sort of apps.
Fallout Tactics 2. Fallout Extreme.
Oh, God.
Fallout Brotherhood of Steel 2. Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Fallout Torn. What the hell?
Children of the Cathedral.
They're so funny and retarded.
So, in general, what factions would you guys need to see or want to see in Fallout 4?
Story time.
Storytime faction.
Yep.
So what factions, Marshall, would you need
Uh,
in an ideal world, what would be your faction list for Fallout 4? If you could only pick
Okay.
four factions.
oh,
Yeah, there you go.
okay. Obviously the Commonwealth, because it wouldn't make sense without
Counting
them.
that as a faction, okay.
Yeah, I'd say count them as a faction.
Okay, then.
I'd say I want Brotherhood of Steel, because It only makes sense for Brotherhood of Steel in conjunction with Rivet City to expand beyond their current borders by Fallout 4. You know what I mean?
Depends when it's set. If it's set in the 24th century like I want, then yes.
I'd say the
24th
23rd century.
The 23rd century is the century that Fallout New Vegas is set in. We must remember this. And Fallout 2.
Oh, wait, 24th.
Yeah, the
24th
24th century does exist.
Yes. Sorry.
The Bishop Child
I meant
leader.
that. I was thinking 2,400.
Yeah, no. The 24th century is 2,300 to 2,399.
The Bishop Child leader of the Bishop family in Reno and the son of the Chosen One dies quietly in his sleep, having never known his real father.
Isn't it the 24th century when the jukebox defends a sound invasion in Older Blues?
Big empty suffers a sonic invasion. And that's in 2910.
Whoa, 2910? The 30th century, the jukebox still going.
And apparently they're having big problems. A silent invasion, is that what it was?
No, it's a sonic invasion.
I love reading this timeline sometimes. It's just so interesting.
Yeah, because you see like what the lore has set out for the future.
Because you can go all the way... The earliest date is 1,600.
Yeah.
Sometime after March 24, 16...
The world was created by God.
During the Salguano
Father in the case.
Torisho Kago is abducted by Mothership Zeta from Japan. How do people know that?
Because it's Mothership Zeta.
Yep.
How do people
That's
know
through the
that?
Mothership Zeta.
But
anyway,
with the timeline... I was going to say something.
I was supposed to finish the faction.
Yeah, go on. You said...
So anyway...
Did you say NCR? No, you said Brotherhood.
I think Brotherhood and Rivet City, because of their giving out water, already... They're recruiting initiates like crazy because everyone loves them. And now that they're giving out water, they're going to give even more initiates. Plus, now they know where the super mutants are, so they're just probably going to gas 87. I think they're going to expand.
If you gas
like
87, I'm pretty sure the problem gets worse.
I don't.
I'm pretty sure they evolve into something even worse.
No, I meant like with fire.
Oh, okay then.
Anyway, but I think. And not only that, but it's pretty clear that they're, even with the major destruction, now that they know what they're doing, they're going to repair.
Have Bethesda said what the canon ending to 3 was?
No.
Because what if the Citadel got blown up?
I don't think that's the canon ending. But I'd say...
I did blow the Citadel up.
I'd say
You
that...
can blow it up.
Liberty
And
Prime...
Broken Steel.
in Broken Steel. And not only that, but... question is, do you accept Eden's request or not?
That's a good shout.
That's a big deal.
I think Project Purity being Project Purity is probably canon.
Yeah. And you not accepting Eden's Steel as canon. Yeah. And you sacrificing your... Hell, maybe even Broken Steel isn't canon. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Wait, Broken Steel still happens if you sacrifice yourself, though.
I know.
There is no proper... The Fallout base game ends. This is from the... This is from the timeline. The Lone Wanderer activates Project Purity either with or without modified FEV of the Enclave and the Capital Zone changed forever. Raven Rock and Adam's Air Force Base are destroyed, and the Citadel may also be destroyed depending on what you want to do. Capital Wasteland of the Brothers still begins to dispute Aquapura to a thirsty wasteland. So it sounds like you don't blow it up, or it's not blown up.
Yeah, made sense. But anyway... the Brotherhood of Steel and Rivet City are going to grow powerful. It's inevitable, especially Rivet City.
What if they did with Fallout 4 like they did with Mass Effect, in which you could load your previous save?
Yeah, the thing is though also as well, like if in Fallout New Vegas they be talking about the Citadel got blown up back home, blah 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 blah.
No, because the Eastern Brotherhood lost complete contact with the Western Brotherhood.
Yeah, but it doesn't exist.
Absolute.
It's like 4 years into the future.
Anyway, if I were to pick 4, I'll just cut to the chase because we're getting distracted. But 4 factions: Rivet City, Eastern Brotherhood of Steel, the Commonwealth, and the 4th faction. Should it be the Enclave or the Western Brotherhood?
The Enclaves are just pricks.
Just kidding, not the Western Brotherhood. I was gonna say, should it be the Enclave or the NCR?
I've got mine, and I think you're gonna be surprised.
It's gonna be Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition.
Well, that's your faction.
No. No, it was just, as I said it was going to be, I remembered your opening line from Fallout 3 Let's Play. I've watched that too many times. Anyway, yeah, Putty's talked about doing this a lot of times. Anyway, so, shit. I can't think. I'm going to say Enclave, because I don't think NCR has reached there by that time, unless it's the 25th century.
Yeah, okay. Alright, I'm going to say Commonwealth, because they have to be there. Canterbury Commons.
I can't wait to hear why.
I think they're going to be expanding, and I think they're going to be ones distributing the water by...
There's like 5 people who live there.
I think they're going to eventually be the ones distributing the water to most of the US.
You have Mecha fucking Ant Bitch as well.
So I don't think we're going to see Rivet City directly in Fallout 4.
Really? You think Canterbury Commons is going to take over?
Not take over, I just think they're going to be the ones doing most of the work.
That'd be weird. I don't think
Rivet
about
City is
I don't
just
think
going
they
to
will.
roll around the oceans.
Yeah, I think Canterbury Commons
That'd
will get
be
a
awesome.
ship. And start trading with that. Yeah, I think Canterbury Commons, Commonwealth. I want to see a game without the Brotherhood. So...
It wasn't Fallout 3 really one.
Fallout 3.
Yeah, wasn't that really based on the Brotherhood?
Yeah, well, I want to see a game without the Brotherhood.
Oh.
So, I'd say...
Fallout New Vegas was kinda.
Yeah, they're still there, though.
They're still in the back.
And one of
mean,
one of them is most likely with you for most of your adventure.
I sort of like to see a game based on the Super Mutants. Like, I
The
know
Brotherhood is in Fallout New Vegas more than the Enclave is.
This is true.
the Enclave does. Oh yes, I could say the Enclave doesn't exist, but I thought, oh wait, Edie.
And the Remnants.
And who knows what they've got buried under the ground in Boston. You know, who knows? They can make up things. They'll be like, oh, turns... Because if you think about it, the Enclave had infinite resources.
I think the Enclave has
They can
gotta
have...
be there.
I think... Oh, yeah. Well, because think about all the technology. Maybe the Commonwealth is the Enclave.
Yeah.
Dude, blew my mind. Like they're secretly the Enclave.
Well, I mean, the Enclave was the pre-war
because they
government.
have all this technology. Dude. Okay,
Well,
anyway,
the Enclave was the pre-war government. I mean, they probably do have their claws in it.
Yeah.
But didn't what his face from Rivet City, the robot, come from the Commonwealth?
Yeah, Harkness.
Yeah, wouldn't he have said like, oh, the round circle of...
I
big
think
shit
the person who
done
talks
that.
the most about the Commonwealth is actually Pinkerton. He talks quite a bit about the Commonwealth if you ask him.
See, this is why I wanted you on the show, because you know more about Fallout 4, and what I was hoping you would do, and I forgot to ask you this, is just using your knowledge of Fallout 3, could you tell us every reference to the Commonwealth, well, most of them, that is in Fallout 3?
Oh, shoot. I don't know about
Just
that.
try and expand the lore that we currently have.
So like I said, Pinkerton talks about... okay, well, I'll start with the simple stuff. You know, what's his name comes in, talks about... I can't even think his name. What's the doctor's name?
God.
The evil guy. Old man, Moneybags.
Dr. Zimmer.
Zimmer.
So Zimmer comes in. He's wearing a suit, tie. He's got a android with him. So we can already see that androids truly are as accurately replicating of a human as he describes. As well as Harkness is an android. So they're very realistic, and that shows promise for the amount of technology they have. I also think... so Zimmer talks about the fact that they've got all this technology. They've already figured out purified water. They have no problem with that, so they've got all the basics covered. He does talk about that. He talks about the fact that, they're doing things with... he doesn't actually talk about what they're doing with weapon technology, which I think is interesting. So who knows?
No, never mind. I was about to talk about the rifle, but the rifle is Harkness's personal and not Commonwealth made.
Yeah, it's just a
doesn't
plasma
he
rifle.
give you like an implant for?
Yes, that's the thing. Zimmerman gives you an implant that increases your VATS. I think your AP. I want to say.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Or at least like decreases the amount of AP you use in VATS, something like that, and or makes VATS more accurate. Something like that. Something with VATS. Anyway, yeah. It does that. So they have implants. They have ways. So implants also implies cyborgs, not just androids. So you'd have sort of a Deus Ex sort of thing.
Almost certainly canon now is that the courier is a cyborg. almost certainly canon from the implants he gets in that game.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Canon.
Because you get so many implants, you can get so many implants from the doctor.
There's also, I think, there's another implant in Older Blues. I mean, your most...
In Old World Blues, your heart, well, who knows?
Spine, and brain could possibly...
You could get your old ones replaced at the end.
But so even then, remember it says that some technologies remain. And that gives you a perk.
So you're somewhat of a cyborg, no matter what.
Yeah, so assuming Old World Blues is canon, which it surely is... Then
God, if it's not, I would be so depressed.
The courier.
Oh, that didn't happen. That was just for fun.
Yeah, the courier is almost.
Mothership Zeta was canon. The crappy sci-fi DLC was canon, and the awesome one was just for fun.
Oh God! All right, it's a 10% hit chance in Vance. Wired reflexes.
Wired reflexes. So yeah, and then I'd say, if you're on the wiki, just search this crap. Why are you making me work using my brain to find out references?
Because the wiki doesn't always cite where it's coming from. You've played Fallout 3. I want your knowledge from Fallout 3.
Okay, like I said, then let's move to Pinkerton. God, I should have just played Fallout 3 before this podcast.
Someone's got to say this shit, and I've done a lot of talking, and Dino's got story time for 20 minutes coming up.
Story time?
Yeah, because I haven't done a lot of talking. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I don't like my own voice, so...
Coming from a content creator. Okay, so we all get the irony of that. So Pinkerton talks about how they're doing amazing things. I mean, that's it. It's very vague, and I think the reason they made it vague is because that might not be it, but that's all I can think of. And I think the reason they made it vague was simply because, Fallout's like, we don't want to give ourselves too much to follow now. Like, they just made it open-ended for later. You know what I mean? But I think we can obviously... I think... If I were to tell you most likely what your character is going to be, well, actually, with those leaked scripts, it could be anything. But... I think it would make sense if your character was a android. I think that'd be really cool. And if you got to choose whether you want to side with the android rebellion or if you want to control the android rebellion along with the humans, you know what I mean? And maybe there's a third faction that just, get the hell out of the Commonwealth, forget about everyone else. Who knows?
Side with the NCR to take over the Commonwealth and complete the domination of the United States of America.
Is Skynet in Fallout? Is Skynet in Fallout a reference to the Terminator?
I just read a quote, by the way, just to completely... It's not off topic, but it's changing direction. Jason Bergman, not sure what he is. I've heard his name before. Do you know what he is in terms of his role?
No.
He is a senior producer.
Uh-huh.
He's still at Bethesda, but the only game he oversaw was New Vegas. He said... I think this was early. I think this is 2011 or something like that. He said on the setting, he said you'll get no tips from me, but the Mojave Wasteland was a fun place to explore, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah.
I've heard that before as well.
And I'm not sure. And the thing is,
New
no
Vegas
one ever
too.
says. Yeah, yeah. That's what you would think if you hear that. You're like,
Or Arizona.
But I feel like, or it's just, maybe it has nothing to do with New Vegas. Maybe it's just hitting at the fact that they're going to use Obsidian again, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Baja?
Baja would be awesome!
I think Baja would be a good DLC. I don't see putting the game there.
Baja would be awesome if they had, if you could go to the beach, swim.
As much as I liked Honest Hearts, I think Baja would have been better suited for that spot as a DLC.
I don't know.
Or maybe just
that's probably a hotly
DLC.
Debated topic.
Just make another DLC for New Vegas right now with a new engine, standalone. It's 1,200 Microsoft points or tenner on Steam. Download it. Go to Baja.
Hill, charge $30 for it. We'll buy it.
No, you shouldn't
charge
do that.
$100.
I still would buy it. You all right on both of you, but
You'd buy.
I'd buy $100 DLC for Fallout.
I probably would too. As long as it was
on
long.
sale though.
If it was like Gunrunner Sergeant, I would.
Yeah.
To be fair, that was a sort of a fun DLC, but definitely not a full DLC.
I loved Gunner's Arsenal, but yeah, you're right. It wasn't a full DLC.
How the hell did that B-29
Couriers was what we call a completely just an add-on.
What, Courier Stash? Yeah.
Yeah.
How the hell did that B-29 Super Fortress survive in Lake Mead for like almost 200 years, or for over 200 years without breaking up?
They were made to last.
But how is it repairable?
They were made to take incoming flak from German cannons. I think they can survive lake water. Oh, it's funny. Did you guys know that a B-29 bomber in the 40s or 50s, I forget when it was, crashed into the Empire State Building?
No.
Yeah.
Was it true that like a B-29 bomber almost blew up like Texas or something?
What? Well, that would make no sense. Like
Wait.
a regular one was just loaded with a normal amount of explosives, blowing up all of Texas?
Wait, hold on.
What?
Alright, well I think that finally after, I think almost an hour, probably more, yeah definitely more, of Fallout talk, brings us to a close. Final thoughts, Marshall. Your closing statement to the jury.
Anyway, I think overall, as long as we keep multiplayer out, that's what I'm most scared of, because why I'm scared of it is because there's all these people asking for it in forums, and every time I see one, I literally just comment and say, "You're an idiot, shut up." And no, I'm not that mean, but I give reasons why I think so, because I think if I inform people, maybe they'll change their minds, but I don't think they will, because people are stubborn, just like I am. I mean, you probably would be hard pressed convincing me that Fallout needs multiplayer. Yeah. Or will benefit from it in any way. Mainly because I've always been a loner with RPGs. But that's not the point. The point is, I think we can hope that even if Fallout 4 doesn't have a great story, at least the Commonwealth...
If it's two-player, we're doing a Let's Play.
No, obviously. Yeah. No matter how crappy it is.
Who cares? We're going to make fun of it.
And then I think even if the story fails like Putty is scared of, I think Commonwealth should be an interesting place to explore no matter what. So we can at least look forward to that. I don't think they can mess up, like you've said in the past. They're good at worlds, and I think they can do some crazy stuff with the Commonwealth. And hopefully they've learned their mistakes and can do some crazy stuff with story as well. That's my final thoughts.
I have utter faith that Bethesda will work extremely hard on this for numerous years. They probably have been working on it for years as we speak. I have utter faith that they will do what they hope to do with it. It'll be better than Fallout 3. It'll be reviewed highly by the critics. Fallout 3 fans, people who played Fallout 3 first, will...
Skyrim received 100.
Yeah, exactly. So. Fallout 3 fans will absolutely adore the game.
So critics aren't worth anything.
Not at all. Fallout 3 fans will enjoy the game. It'll be a decent game.
Critics said Rome Total War 2 was a good game. Nothing that means anything to you guys, but that game was more buggy than... And they changed everything about it.
Speaking of buggy as shit, I think Fallout 4 will come out with a lot of bugs, including at least 2 game-ending bugs.
You're predicting the amount.
At least 2 game-ending in the first week. The first patch will come... 10...
I didn't even know.
Oracle, this is
weird. The first patch will come 10 days from the release of the game, and it will fix 1 of the 2 game-ending bugs and bring in 2 more. Then, by the end of the month, they'll have it all fixed.
Is this based off the Fallout New Vegas?
Yeah. And by the end of the year, they'll have most of the companion-killing bugs fixed. Most of them. Then they'll start releasing DLC. Which is, to be fair, really big thumbs up to Bethesda for the most part. They fix the bugs before they make their DLC. Fair enough. Which is not what most developers do at all. They release DLC.
They're like, we'll fix the bugs after
DLC, yeah. The first thing we're working on when the game is done is DLC, then bugs. Or probably working on the DLC before the game is done, but we won't talk about that.
I didn't even realise like a bomber flew into the Empire State Building.
Yep.
But I think it'll be a good game in all. I don't think it's going to be as good as New Vegas. I don't think the story's going to be completely up to par. I think it'll be better than Fallout 3.
I think we can't say anything about it, you know? We have no idea what
No,
it's going to
but
be
just
about.
judging
Who
on-
knows? There's actually no... That's the thing. This is all speculation. There's actually no finite confirmation it's even going to be in Boston.
Except that Ron
Ron
Perlman said he's not working on a game right now.
Oh, well, the thing about that is, I was thinking about that, and that's not really proof that he's not going to be in it, because if you think about it, okay, A, he could be trying purposely to not give away anything, which, fair enough. That
It's Reddit AMA, though. You have to tell the truth.
And then 2, he could have, think about it, the first thing you do in the game is the cutscene at the beginning and Ron Perlman's voice. So if that's the first thing, they could have already recorded him. And he's saying, I don't have any projects coming up. I'm already done for the year. Money.
Right, fair enough. It's a fair shout, actually. But, yeah, just my final thoughts. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be a Fallout game. I just think it's going to be Fallout 3, again, which is a sensational open-world wasteland shooter. It's just not a Fallout game.
I wouldn't call it sensational.
Well, Fallout 3.
I know a lot of people who didn't like Fallout 3.
I'm one of those people, and I'm willing to call it a sensational open world.
Different than you. You didn't like it because it wasn't sensational enough.
Well, as a whole, generally in the gaming community, from what I felt, it was a massive success. It was one of those games that sold consoles, like Oblivion. But
that's true, it sold consoles, but it didn't sell that many copies.
No, it didn't. It sold
less
than Fallout New Vegas, but hey. It was one of Bethesda's higher selling ones, I assume. Anyway, that's my final thoughts. Good game. Deano, you've got 10 minutes. Go.
I've got 10 minutes of story time. So
I'm gonna go to the toilet.
As I have, well, feel free to comment on the shenanigans. So I've been on this course for the last 11 weeks, and one of the weeks we had to go on a residential trip. We went to the New Forest, which is a forest that's new. No, but you get what I mean. Went on like a little residential, which is like a little holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And on the third night we were there, we decided it would be funny to get a bag of icing sugar, go into one of the rooms where someone was just chilling out, and throw the bag of icing sugar over their head.
I see where this is going.
I have pictures as well, which is quite funny.
God.
We literally put icing sugar in our hand, and we literally just threw it at him. This is just the start. And then he comes out, grabs a bag of icing sugar and starts throwing at us, and then one of my mates, he grabbed the whole bag and just threw it at him, and it went everywhere. Went absolutely everywhere.
Wow.
And then it took us like ages to clear
How did he
up.
feel about this?
He was just laughing. We were all laughing. That was quite funny. And then...
Man, if it happened to me, I would be a horrible sport. I'd get all pissed. I'd be a big bitch about it. I'd be like, God damn you guys.
That night was for the beef, and then like afterwards we trashed some kid's room, which was also my room as well. We like trashed the room.
You
like,
trashed your own room just to get it at one kid?
He's a cunt. I don't like the kid.
So is this like a camp sort of thing, or?
We had to do it as like part of the course. We had to like go on like a residential.
But it is like you were camping.
In a sense, yeah.
Like in log cabins, or?
Yeah, in log cabins. Yeah, we didn't really like destroy any of his like valuables. That we just threw like, everything around. We put toilet paper on the light, on the bed, everywhere. And then he came back and got really pissed off. But actually, no, he took it quite well. And then when he was like getting everything back in order, he was like, "Oh, they had to rip the sheets off my bed," and he fucking went insane. Started like kicking everything, and I just left.
Oh, that would piss me off.
That was the third night. On the fourth night, we had all the leftover food, and we thought, well, we had a cake as well. And the way we had like a massive food fight, and the way it started off was that someone picked up the whole cake and threw it across the room, and then it just turned into like a full-on food fight. There was cake being thrown, there was bits of burgers being thrown, everything.
Putty comes in at the weirdest time.
Throwing like cake and bits of meat, and then we filled up the washing bowl full of water, and we lobbed that all over the floor, and it mixed in with the cake and the beef and everything.
Oh, this sounds disgusting.
I have pictures.
It sounds like a really weird, like,
You need
porno.
to send me those pictures so I can put them on the podcast.
I'll send you the pictures. They're on my phone.
Okay.
I'll send you.
Excellent. So in that case, you are looking at those pictures right now. Hopefully, hopefully you find
I
them
don't have
hilarious.
pictures
I'm
of
on
my
Snapchat.
nights out. That never happens.
This wasn't a night out. This was like a whole trip.
Now, Putty, this may be crazy, but would you? You may not want to. It may be a lot to do. But would you want to go through some of the things we talk about and put in appropriate
Images?
Fallout pictures?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not looking for like one every word
Yeah.
we say, but every once in a while, like, I don't know.
Vault 69. There you go.
Vault 69. The other
Vault
week it
68.
was my friend's birthday, and I ended up sleeping in the kebab shop on the floor
Wow.
because the kebab was taking too long. And I was so
They didn't
pissed.
kick you out?
Hmm?
They didn't kick you out?
No, because I was still waiting for my kebab.
You just fell asleep in the kebab
I was
shop.
so pissed. I just fell over. I was on the floor, and then I fell asleep, and they woke me up. They gave me my kebab. I dropped half the kebab on the floor. I picked it up and just started eating it while I was on the floor.
Aw.
That's so gross.
And then we walked home, and I was like under this tunnel, and I slept under the tunnel for a little bit, and then we got to my friend's house, and that was the last thing I remember. And I woke up in his bed. So, I don't.
Oh,
Go.
God.
So I wasn't in. He wasn't in the bed at the time. He was on the floor.
Uh-huh.
Like two Saturdays ago, I was over at my mate's house. We got kind of
I can't get pissed on Saturdays anymore.
The last thing I remember is sleeping on the floor. I wake up to be on his bed, sleeping on some girl's ass. I was like, what
That's
the
not
fuck?
an unpleasant... You were sleeping on a girl's ass.
It was for like a hip. I like woke up, was like, the fuck?
Yeah.
This isn't the floor. I was like, whoa, shit.
I can't get pissed
Yeah.
on Saturdays anymore because I got games on Sundays. Well, it's actually the season's coming to a close now.
And I saw my friend who
So
was
it's
just like
just Fridays.
crashed out at his desk. I was like, lol, that's funny.
It's Fridays from now on. Well, from the last couple of weeks.
So do you have any other stories, Deano?
Do I have any more stories? I have plenty of stories.
Because we were expecting a very long
You've been
story.
asking for story time for literally an hour.
Story time.
Go on then.
Oh my...
Today, which was quite funny, we played some. We have this window opener, you know, those little window openers that you can get, and we had a little sponge ball, and we were like playing golf in like the corridor at college. That was funny.
I
Yeah.
like college.
And then some girl went apeshit because we threw the ball like so lightly at her hat, and she overreacted and said it hit her in the eye. And then now there's like a whole criminal investigation going on.
What?
I remember one time.
Not with the police at like the college. It's like, for fuck's sake. And then I'm gonna have to like write a statement and like everything.
I
That's
remember this
annoying.
one time. This girl just gave me like these apples and said throw one at the whiteboard, and she didn't think I was gonna do it, so I just threw like these just apples at the whiteboard. And the college staff came in and they were just like, oh, "We don't give a shit." The college staff just didn't want to be there. I was like, "All right then." So we just kept throwing apples at the whiteboard. And then we ended up throwing them on the floor, and I put a picture up on Facebook saying, "Well, that wasn't meant to happen." Actually, I think I still got that somewhere. Anyway, it was funny.
Pelting fruit is fun.
Yeah, college is amazing. I'm so glad I go to school and college.
Wait, what year are you in? You're in
You're
year
happy
12.
you go to both?
Are you in year 12?
Yeah, I am, because it allows me to have like different experiences.
Well, I'm still unemployed, so yeah.
As am I.
And I'm only in college for like another 2 weeks.
Are you doing ACT?
ACT, what the
No,
fuck
you're
is
not.
that?
Okay.
I'm doing
It's
Prince's
something
I'm
my
doing
unemployed
Prince's
friend
Trust.
does, so I was thinking.
I'm doing Prince's Trust.
All right, okay.
Do you know what
No.
that is? Okay, moving on.
Sure, it's where the prince trusts you.
Nah, fuck the Prince. Actually, no, he's a beast. We love him. The fuck is this?
Those are the apples. I might be able to put this on the podcast, actually.
Do it? I think your college is probably going to get pissed.
The college staff literally walked in, and they were like, "We don't give a shit."
What class was
This
this?
is law.
Was
I
there
thought
a
you-
teacher?
This
Yeah.
is low class.
Yes,
Yeah, I thought you said, at first I thought you said lore,
law.
and I was like,
Today we're going to learn about what happened in the Great War during All Out.
Dude, if there was seriously, considering how popular video games are becoming, if there ever is a time where there is a school teaching about video games, I want to be a teacher.
I want to be a follow teacher, and they ask me questions. I'm like, I really don't know the answer to that. But it would be fun, wouldn't it?
Today we are going to learn about crap.
Shady Sands.
Yeah, it's like, now we're gonna start your second paper. This one is gonna be on the Vault Dweller.
I want your third paper to be about annoying NPCs. And no talking about Moira. Be a little more original, ladies and gentlemen. A little more original.
Now we're gonna talk about super mutants. We'll start with Nightkin. Because they're the best.
We'll start with the Master, because he's like fucked up.
Oh, he is so screwed up. Oh, but imagine if you brought in like live demos of Stealth Boys and Power Armor.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
This is a mini noob.
I know a guy.
Let's play hot potato.
I know a guy who bought a legitimate suit of like not actual, but it was made out of metal and that sort of stuff. Like it was a very well made costume of Power Armor.
Yeah.
Of T-51B at a shop somewhere that this guy made himself, and it looked extremely authentic.
But no real Stealth Boys yet?
No, but it had a HUD. Like the helmet itself had a HUD.
On other news, we just hit the 2-hour mark.
Well, I think we're ready to end this podcast off then.
Alright, Deano, do you want to advertise anything?
Story time.
Come back next week for another story.
Yeah, come back
If I
next
have
week
one.
for a better prepared story.
Yeah,
Actually, no, I do have another funny
Mashi,
story.
do you remember my story?
Went to
What
the
story?
fire
The
station.
Paddy Gash story.
Oh God. Yes, we're not
For
telling
literally
that one.
7 days, I had Marshall convinced that I was on some sort of mafia mission.
I was not
You convinced the first couple of days.
The first couple of days. After that, it was a funny joke that we continued. That's
I
enough.
you phone. No, you didn't phone me. You text me at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Putty always tries to make me think that he is like just a badass who like does drugs, kills bitches, runs guns. Mainly because, and I think he has a sort of advantage because our relationship is purely ether, you know, purely in person. So he can live sort of his fantasies through me. He can be a spy or do cocaine on a Saturday night. You know, he can.
Half of the
In
things you
about
just said
200
aren't
years'
true.
time, in about 200 years' time, my ancestors will be talking about this, and they'll be doing it live somewhere.
What?
On that bombshell. Peace out.
Peace out.